I just wanna live and dream, but nothing is as what it seems. And baby, it's making me crazy. I just wanna fight and scream. There's nothing left for me to say. Fear shot to defeat the day. I know that I can control it, so it doesn't have to be this way.
I'm really sick of living, stuck and trapped in the system. You're just a brick in the wall, and I got my back up against it. I represent the resistance, they want me back up in prison. But I'm the master of my path, and I won't slack on my mission. You're lacking the vision, so I'm just gonna cut to the chase. They hide the truth in plain view, right in front of your face. I used to think the world was normal, but that wasn't the case. We're just some boy, I'm on a hamster wheel, running in place. Turn up the bass, I grab the microphone, and all I do is rock it. This little light of mine, I let it shine, and you can't stop it. But there's nothing these corporations just won't do for profit. This fake ass world that we live in is sick, it's truly toxic. If you don't see it that way, okay, then keep talking. Don't bump into that wall while you're sleepwalking. The alarm is going off, I hear it beep often. I'm at the double doors of truth, I'm gonna keep knocking.
I just wanna live and dream, but nothing is as what it seems. And baby, it's making me crazy. I just want to fight and scream. There's nothing left for me to say. Fear shot to defeat the day. I know that I can control it, so it doesn't have to be this way.
I refuse to just go quietly into the night. There's forces of darkness at work and they're restricting the light. I'm so fed up with the lies, they tell us this isn't right. It's ODD TV, you best believe I'll get up and fight. This is my plight, I'll never let you cowards get the best of me. Took the red pill, now it's time to fulfill my destiny. Living like a Leo, dipping from my P.O. Tripping on me cause I am the one and he's a zero. Hot like a jalapeno, bringing heat that you just can't avoid. I call out bullshit and lies, they call me paranoid. People are just foolish, full of hate, they get angry. Point out the truth about reality, they label you crazy. Just a glitch in the system, you're a critical thinker.
No, they don't want
that. Fuck them, give them the finger. I do it every single day, each and everything I see. I'm not living like a victim, it doesn't have to be this way.
I just wanna live and dream, but nothing is as what it seems. So baby, make me crazy. I just wanna fight and scream. There's nothing left for me to say. Here's shot to defeat the day. Know that I can control it, so it doesn't have to be this way.
All right, what's going on, guys? Steve JMO and the Truth Seekers 69, and I got the date right now. It's the 26th. I was saying it was the 23rd or 24th all day. Turns out I'm wrong. I had Tuesday right. I guess time flies when you're having quarantine fun, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Ridiculous.
We had a little echo during the song. I don't know if it was your headphones. Were you putting your headphones in or something?
No, is there still an echo?
Not right now, but it was kind of bad towards the end of the song. I thought to myself, this must be how my show sounds when it starts out.
Interesting. No, I didn't know. I saw you say that in the chat, but I'm like, maybe she just spelled Ola wrong or something. Then you said hi. I'm like, all right. So I was thinking
Fireball earlier, but not that much Fireball.
All
Nothing
right.
all wrong.
That's all right. Well, I hope that's taken care of. I don't really want to unplug the headphones. Well, how was it sounding earlier? Could you hear the fans in the background or no?
No. It just sounded like a chord was being played with or something, or you were maybe moving around with your headphones on. Maybe the cord was making it just seemed like it was a cord issue.
That's funny. I was trying to stay as still as possible, but
It wasn't working.
all right,
Oh,
hold on one sec. All right, how does this sound? Is this the same thing, or can you hear the fans in the background?
I can't really hear anything, but now we have an echo.
Now there's an echo. Oh, hold on. Let me turn this down. How's that?
Yeah, it's good.
We'll keep talking for a second.
Don't bump into that wall while you're sleepwalking.
There you go. I didn't hear that. Let me take these silly headphones. All right, guys. This is the mystery show because I didn't know what to call it because she has some other things. I have some other things. And I'm sure we'll bump into other things upon the way to the end of the show. So we're just gonna roll with it. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really...
My aunt's here. Hi, Carla. And MT Callie 70 says she loves my FTM videos. 2 years ago, I was really into the transvestigations and stuff. So she must have went back a little ways into my videos and checked some stuff out.
Oh, is that what FTM means? Like female to male or something? Or...
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm like FTM. I'm like, is that like MTV or something? But all right, cool. Basically, yeah. It's funny that's brought up real quick, and I was having a discussion on Facebook over the last 2 days because people are just ridiculously dumb. And it's like Lady Gaga and like some stupid TV show, but she's got like blood all over her, drinking blood, and there's like 6 children next to her, and they all have like baby bottles, but they're full of blood, you know? Yeah. So I'm like,
that's an old picture.
Yeah, I shared it, and I'm just like, Holly Weird, Hollywood, whatever. Everyone's like, this is from American Horror Story or some stupid TV show. I'm like, exactly, Holly Weird. Like, what are you guys missing?
They're like,
she's done stuff like this before. I'm just like, do you know who Marina Abramovich is? They're like, no. I'm like, well, she's a Satanist, spirit cooker, occult magician, artist, whatever she is. That's what she is. And I show them the pictures where they're at that retreat or whatever you call it, and it's the picture of Lady Gaga, Abrima, and either a dead body or a dead body that looks like, or it's a cake that looks like a dead body, allegedly. Whatever it really is, it's messed up. It's either mock sacrifice or it's actual sacrifice. Either way, it's the same outcome comes from the energy they give in. That's what they don't get. That's what these people don't get. You give energy to something, it's almost just as bad as doing it. Sometimes it's just as bad, even worse.
Yeah.
Even worse. If you could do something without doing the energy to it, like I could go to work and just stand there and mope all day, or I can go to work, have some energy, and get it done. You know?
Well, they mock Jesus all the time. There's many different ways that they do mocking to Jesus, even though Jesus isn't really there in the flesh, and they're mocking him. So it's literally the same exact energy, except for when they're sacrificing a real child or a real baby or a real person. They're getting the excitement out of that energy of the torture that's happening and taking place before them. And then they're going to drink the blood from this person or baby who was tortured that has all this, adrenaline running through them now. And it's like literally like bloodlusts, like blood fests and stuff.
Right. It's disgusting. But this comment, this is your aunt, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, look at that.
It's muffed up. But yeah, this is the new norm. I mean, if you go to work and they do a temperature and you're above 98 degrees, they're sending you home. I mean, you have to feed your family. There's nothing wrong with you. Maybe you're just, your body's having a natural reaction to something or whatever like that. But immediately they're just going to send you home. Everything is blamed on this, C-19 thing. It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. And the thing is, like, I know you live in the South where it's like always goddamn hot, but up here it's just starting to get really warm, and it was like 84, 85 out today. And I'm sure everyone who was outside in wherever I was today, I don't know where I was, but I found all these awesome places apparently.
and it's ridiculous. It was hot outside, so if someone registered my temperature or anyone walking around, it would definitely be above normal because I'm walking outside in the heat and there wasn't a cloud in the sky over your head. But oddly enough, if you got some elevation like I did, like we'll see in a little bit, it was, the clouds are just incredible in the distance. Just you know what's coming. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep.
It's ridiculous, but I gotta type something real quick. Too bad I'm like ridiculously stupid and I can't type. There we go.
I'll say hi to the chat. We got Tommy Rogers here. Tommy says his account got deleted.
Yeah, they took him down today.
Swedes is in the house. Ceiling Fan, The Real Truth. Steve JMO, the Truth Seeker 69 is here today. Whoop, whoop. Truth Seeker is here also. Craig Stierber. I'm not sure how to say that. MT Cali 70, Carla Farizzi, Jennifer Kiesling, Jeannie, what's up? And that's about everybody right now.
Nice. 102 degrees and I don't know, NorCal. It must be North California City. I don't know where that is, but that sucks, dude. That sucks. And yet there's still the pandemic is going on, even though 85 degree heat will kill it. Is that what they're trying to say? Isn't that the memo that's going around right now, or that was going around? Oh, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous stuff. Here, I'm going to invite Sweeties to jump on real quick.
Oh,
I'm sure you're not opposed. If I could figure out how to do this. Oh, okay. I haven't done this on the desktop in so long. I just set up all my shows on my phone. It's a completely different format.
Well, while you're doing that, I'm just going to let everybody know what I'm going to be presenting today. I was watching the documentary earlier. I've been looking more into the mud flood stuff, and then I'm looking at my theory is, and I'm trying to find evidence for it. And it seems like in this video, I might have found somebody having the same sort of theory as I do, is that a lot of these ancient sites aren't as ancient as they would like us to believe. For instance, Angkor Wat, we're going to take a look at that. It's in Cambodia. And that's supposed to be like, I don't know what they say, like 1,200 years old or something like that. But it's more like it's like maybe like 200-300 years old. According to the evidence that this person was pointing out. And like I was surmising that a lot of these ancient temples in Rome and throughout Italy and Greece, and even like say Baalbek, the Temple of Jupiter and stuff like that, they're very destroyed and half buried in the ground, some parts of it and stuff. I think those areas were close to the same age as what we're witnessing in our cities all around us at these mud flood buildings, except these were hit harder in these areas, hence more destruction to them and everything like that. But they're trying to give us this odd timeline with this extra 1,000 years attached to it. And to placate that timeline, they're going to tell us that these particular ancient sites are older than other ones, which I don't think they are. I think they're in the same time frame as when this whole mud flood took place.
Yeah, dude. I've been trying to like pinpoint what's happening, and what I've come to not really figure out, but my conclusion on it is something happened in various places, not at the same time, but all in different times between, I'd say, 1760 and 1915.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened between then or there or when or what times happened what, but things went down. Things went downhill for maybe not for the greater mean of society, but for what society was achieving at that time was far too ahead for its time. So maybe what all these mud floods were like an act of God, like y'all just wilding out too much. So I got to level this stuff out again.
Even according to the architecture, we're de-evolving, because if you look at our architecture
what
now,
I was trying to point out to people,
steel frame buildings with glass facades. Most of the skyscrapers we see today are glass, and they're not going to last the test of time or destruction that may come or whatever. But this is a grand scale architecture. And then it's interesting to find out that a lot of this architecture are basically facades over a rough gravel filled type of structure.
Yep.
And then if you look at Stonehenge, you can find pictures of Stonehenge where there's one of the pillars where the back of it's exposed and you can see a metal girder going up through it. So how is it that this rock that supposedly these ancient people from God only knows when, these standing stones in this perfect circle and who knows what they did there, have metal in there? And it's not just like, oh, well, they just decided to fix it up and put that one back up.
It's
These are
ridiculous.
the original stones that they're telling us. Yet it has a beam of metal going up through it. And we could probably dig that up a little later. But I think we were looking at a video last time we were on, or a couple of shows ago. And I said, look, do you see it right there in the background? They were showing Stonehenge. And I said that one block, a stone block, had the back of it was open. I guess the rock fell off, just like the plaster would fall off at Egypt. And you just see the smooth rock face. But yet the plaster over it is where they did all the carving. Okay, so it's like stucco. People would get their fireplaces done and out front of their houses and stuff where it looks like it's rock, but it's not. They put this sheet, this kind of like concrete over it, but it's not concrete. It's a stucco. And they can carve whatever they want in it while it's still, sticky and stuff before it hardens. And this is why it looks so easy. They just stamp this stuff in like cookie cutter stuff.
Right. This stuff was way ahead of its time, and we're not using any of those techniques today, people. Like you said, we're de-evolving archaeologically, because you look at these like incredible cathedrals or whatever it is we're going to be looking at today, and we looked at in the past. It's these interesting, incredible structures or sculptures or whatever, and they're just so out of place. Like there'll be like a giant, stone building, like it's perfect. That's, has all the crazy antiquity tech on top, but then next to it are like hundreds of wooden buildings. I'm like, so what happened?
With all the technology that we have, we would be doing the hard stuff that they did back then. Back then, they were doing things that they made things that looked impossible for their time. You think that they would have built more simpler structures, and we would have worked our way up to those type of structures that they were building way back when in between 1700s and 1800s. And now when you look at our construction, and we have the technology to build like they built, and we don't even build that way. We build,
backwards.
It's ridiculous. And the materials that they use are ridiculous. I mean, we
plaster,
use
eyewall. Come on.
It's just, it doesn't make sense.
And all their stuff is so smooth too. Like it's just so crazy. All this old
they
stuff.
had their shit organized. So they had a supply line of supplies. It wasn't like, okay, you got to figure back in the 1700s and the 1800s, even the 1300s when some of these cathedrals were built. It's not like they could just call up and order so much of this material from way over where and get it there. They had no way of getting this information to these people to order the supplies that they needed. It would take astronomical amounts of time. And then there's no roads. You got ships basically, but they're sail ships. I mean, there's none of it makes sense. Hey, Squeeze.
What's going on, brother? How are you?
Are you drinking Jack?
Am I drinking what?
What are you drinking? Jack Daniels?
I don't drink anymore.
Oh, I thought that was a bottle of Jack.
I am drinking Body Armor. Very healthy.
I'm drinking wine.
Got a Powerade over here.
But I will partake in this.
Sweet.
Oh,
Me
is
too.
that a dab cart?
One of those.
Those are freaking. Oh my god, those were money back in the day, bro. They're all right now. I just hit the straight dabs. I just feel it's more effective. But if you're on the go and at work, and I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick, you could hold a fat hit in and not blow any smoke out, no problem. I know the drill. It hurts sometimes.
I mean, I got plenty of real bud too. I mean, you know that story. But yeah, this is for work and just convenience. Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
The man on the go, for the pothead on the go.
That's right.
Efficiency. That's what we go for, guys.
Absolutely.
Roundness, the all-around player.
Oh, Dan, before I forget, I did work on your song yesterday.
Okay.
And I got pretty much everything laid out how I'm gonna record it. So that's all I gotta do really. I got like 80% of it's all like structured, it's ready to go. I think On my next day off, I'll record it.
That's awesome, dude. I'm so excited.
It sounded dope too. I like it a
bet
lot.
it did.
Ooh, I'm working on like 5 or 6 like bangers right now too. I got a few of them like halfway done, so very soon.
So
Right.
did the instrumentals work with it?
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, I had to restructure like the whole thing to work with the instrumental, but I can make any lyrics work with any instrumental. That doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, I tried to follow the same kind of rap rhythm that he did for Hellraiser, like to try to follow that flow that he was, if you listen to the song and how he goes through it all,
Right.
He keeps running and running and running with his words. You know what I mean? It's like no stopping. I love it. And I know every word to Hellraiser, by the way.
My flow's definitely going to be much different from his and Hellraiser, that's for sure. But shit, Tupac he was one of the main reasons why I got into rapping in the first place. Absolutely. That's my idol. One of them. Definitely.
Hellraiser was banned from the radio, so a lot of people don't know it. If they're not Tupac fans and listen to his music, they don't really know that one because it talks about, crooked Glock killing, cops and stuff.
Yeah, the
Dude,
stuff that you want on the radio.
I got my 357, can't control it. Screaming, die, motherfucker, and it's loaded.
I mean, if it was nowadays, that'd be like mainstream with all the stuff that these kids are promoting and listening to on the radio. And half of them look like females. And I come to find out that's part of the deal. You want to be rich, you got to look like this, for a couple photos or an album or a tour. You got to dress up like this and you're good to go. And they all do it. At least all the ones that I notice, I don't see too many rappers disappearing anymore. I don't really follow music like I used to.
Yeah,
But
me neither.
from like what I can tell, it's just the same people on top every time I look at the charts.
Yeah, bro. I mean, the whole like cross-dressing thing, that's in acting, that's in music, that's in everything,
Terrible.
bro. That's in politics. That's totally a ritual, absolutely 100% to get into that. Like every single like real famous actor has done a role that they dress up as a woman, like straight
it's
up.
like
as
a
woman.
humiliation ritual of some sort.
Right,
It is.
exactly.
I think it's Freemasonic or something because they're all about those humiliation rituals and whatnot. So I'm assuming if you get up to those upper ranks, you got to do something like that or whatever. Like let's say you're in the Boule Society, that's pretty much the same deal, just on the other spectrum, and you got to work your way up. Like look at people like Kobe before he exited the world stage, because I'm still not sold that's a thing. LeBron James, King James wins his first title on King James's real birthday, who wrote the Bible. Too many things add up and all. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, bro. That I can't even get into the whole Kobe thing. That's just ridiculous, man. It's unbelievable how many coincidences people accept.
Well, see, if you have the eyes to see it, you can see that it is all staged. It's all scripted. It's all done by the numbers. And that the only way that can happen is if it's all pre-planned, pre-packaged, and ready to go. Just like a running show on a stage. All right, come on, girls, next act. Bring them out, shake your asses off the stage. Let's get the next one in. Let's go. And that's how they do it. They have teams of people all over the place set up in their key media locations that, pull off this massive show that we're all a part of. We're the audience. We're the spectators watching the big show. When you come here and be born here, you got front row seats to the big show.
I'm going to have to disagree with you, Jen, on that. I'm not an audience member. I'm a star.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Hell out of here.
Oh, you had me interested there. I'm like, which part? Well, yeah,
we all are.
That's how they try to make it. These people, it's consent. If you watch it and you're like, oh, it's whatever, you're taking part of the ritual. It's consent. You're not turning the other, you're not turning the TV off, which shouldn't be on in the first place. And it was just like the Super Bowl this year. I just want to check out that halftime show, see how satanic it was going to be. Within 3 minutes, they brought out children inside fucking cages. And I'm like, I'm not watching this. And if you people watch this, shame on you. And they just looked at me strange, and I'm like, I'm out. I literally left. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
I won't even watch the breakdowns of the shows. After I saw the Goddard Tunnel thing and the breakdown of that was so.
You don't even need a breakdown for that.
I had to keep stopping it and like praying and then go on again because I didn't want to get affected by this at all. You can't unsee this stuff, and just seeing it is
the worst part about.
Part of it.
Well, the worst part about the Gothard Tunnel was it wasn't just the visuals, wasn't the people like doing stuff. It was the actual using of like these old instruments. Like they were blowing through horns that were like fucking 8-9 feet long and a nice low frequency. You know, I've done some research in that. Low frequency ain't a good day. You know what I'm saying? Like that ELF. I'm just saying it all makes sense. King of the Air, Lucifer. That's the guy. That's who they're looking for. And if you watch the whole ceremony through, like I have, and it comes on the screen at the last second, So who's really coming through the big Gothard Tunnel?
Yeah, dude, a lot of the stuff in that halftime show, like there was no reason for like a lot of that stuff to be in there. Like it had nothing to do with the song at all.
One of the chicks had a pentagram on as a effing outfit with the goat man and everything, but it was outlined. It wasn't like actually drawn in, but you could like if you drew it in, it would fit perfect. It's coincidence.
All the symbols that we know that they use were all in that, and they were instead of just us seeing like Baphomet or this or that or the scarab beetles or whatever. Or their minions and stuff. It was like a whole
good way.
Mishmash of them all working together on stage, like as if this is how it is in hell. Like, come on in, join the fucking party,
Yeah, they made it look appetizing. Yeah, they made it look like, oh, wow, look at her, Shakira, Lady Gaga, whatever the fuck is dancing on stage. You have to literally
be fucking brain dead not to figure out that was a satanic fucking ritual. I mean, there's no other reason for it. There's no other word for it.
My question is, when have either of them released any music? Like J-Lo and Shakira?
That's what I'm saying. That's who it was. Right. Either way, years, bro. Years.
What? These are the people you're getting for the biggest halftime, like the biggest event. Though J-Lo and Shakira?
I think it was for the people who were like 32 and older,
J-Lo is
like,
my age.
That was songs when I was back in the day, bring me back.
I love them both.
Yeah, J-Lo's right around 50 years old, I think. Or 51.
Yeah. The whole situation.
I have to adjust. I have to mention a comment. Ceiling Fan Man said, "I look so happy." I need to comment on that because I'm always happy, bro. Because it's all about our vibration level right now, man. We can't be negative about anything. We got to be sending positive vibes into the world and raising the vibration level. I just had to say that.
That's funny. I was like thinking about that on my long, like 5-6 hour drive I took today. I got lost, by the way, in our awesome state of Massachusetts, which is, not too hard with these 99, 200. I don't even know how many highways are technically in Mass, but it's ridiculous. It goes all the way up to like 202. I'm talking the little state highways, like all the little routes in between there. It's ridiculous, bro. Our state is like our state's like 3 Rhode Islands. Like we don't need all this stuff. And I end up on these back roads. And I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, I can't even get pissed right now, like, because I'm gonna get more lost and more lost. I just kept laughing my way, and then I found my way. I'm like, look at that son of a bitch.
Dude, Rhode Island. Have you ever driven in Rhode Island?
Oh, I've driven everywhere, bro. I love Rhode Island.
Rhode Island is nothing but one ways, bro. So if you make a mistake,
you're beat.
You can't turn around, man. Trust me, I've tried, and it does not work in Rhode Island. The entire state is a one-way street,
dude. And half the I would say like a 94% of the state of Rhode Island has no street lights. So you're beat if it's like 8:30. You don't know where you're at. It's dumb. There's no service in that state. I hate that place, but I love it because it's just so beautiful when there's light.
I was baptized in Rhode Island at the Holy
Were you?
Church. Yes.
That's a beautiful little state.
My dad's Providence, Rhode Island. Well, he passed away. But yeah, and I used to go up there when I was a little girl and visit my grandparents. My mom used to stick me on an Amtrak train by myself when I was like 7, 8, 9 years old and stuff and send me on up there. And yeah, no cell phones back then or nothing. Just somebody on the other end waiting to pick me up.
Right. You know, that Jen girl, she's tough. She'll be okay.
Yeah, what
I
crazy
went to
time
my
you used to
dad.
live in.
I never met my dad before, and I went to meet him. I forget how old I was. It was probably like 7 or 8 or something, 8 or 9. And I'm like, well, what's he look like? Like, oh, he'll see him. He's got
Yeah,
dark
right?
hair. He'll hold your name up and stuff. And I'm like, oh, great. First time I get to meet my dad, it's me getting off a train, and I have no clue who he is at all. Like, it's not like, hey, I want to introduce you to your dad. You know what I mean?
You didn't have a picture? You didn't have a picture?
Huh?
You didn't have a picture?
No, they didn't have a picture. And
Nothing.
he left when I was 5 months old. He
I
he
see.
didn't want a baby. And my mom thought it would be a good idea to have a baby, and it would kind of fix stuff. And he told her specifically he didn't want to have kids, but so things didn't exactly work out the way she thought they would. So he took off when I was 5 months old. And then I met him later and stuff because his parents, my grandparents, were in love with me. I was their first granddaughter or their only granddaughter. And so they were always keeping in contact with me. And, you know, I'd always go up and visit them. But it wasn't until later on that I had met him. And because he lived out in Albuquerque, he moved out to like Las Vegas. He worked in Las Vegas at a casino for a while and stuff. Towards the end of his life, he was in federal prison for God only knows what. He wouldn't tell me, but he said, he just wrote me a really long letter and stuff. He did something, but I don't know what it was. It was federal prison. So it's kind of different than regular prison. It's kind of like white collar crimes and stuff.
I know very well.
Yeah. And I have mob connections, the Salernos. If you look up Fat Tony Salerno, I'm related to him.
Oh boy. Don't mess with Jen, people. You get tased and you'll have the freaking mob at your house.
Yeah. We don't
That's
call
one
them
of
cops. We call family bitches.
All the fat
I
tone.
didn't know your last name. I wouldn't mess with you just based on your last name.
Yeah. Salerno is my maiden name.
That's fine. I know with some Salernos up here
Of
from
course
Brooklyn.
you're going to be connected.
Yeah, there's a lot of Salernos up there. So
Yeah,
I'm
he used to
all
run
Italian.
Brooklyn, actually. It's weird. He was like professional street boxer, Pete Salerno.
Yeah.
He's an
Yeah.
interesting guy.
Does your family make like personal pizzas? Like a personal Salerno pizza?
I
Is that
think
the Salerno?
I think that there's one up there that has it. Yeah, it's up in
Probably, right?
in that Rhode Island area. What's that?
I'm totally messing with you.
No, seriously though, I think there's a pizza place up there that somebody had told me about that's Salerno Pizzas, and we were looking into it to find out if that was any relation to my family up there. My cat is chasing something around the house. I have no clue what it was. I think it's a mouse.
What were you guys talking about? What were you guys talking about?
Oh,
What were you guys talking about?
We were talking about mud flood. That's what we're going to be getting into.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that
Yeah.
topic. And I haven't researched that like extensively like I have other subjects. So I like when you guys talk about that. It's very interesting. It's very
It is. It's like a mind picker because I'm looking at all these houses everywhere around here. They're made of wood, metal, glass, whatever. And there's these random giant Victorian stone buildings and megaliths and obelisks and half castles just down the street, nevertheless. And that's just in my local neighborhood. The stuff I find driving around is even more crazy. I called Jen today. I'm like, I'm out of my mind right now. I'm like, I'm at a college that's completely mud flooded. It was ridiculous. We went to UMass Amherst, checked that out. And then I guess I was at Amherst College down the street. And that was even crazier. All these houses and all these buildings, they were, oh my God, bro. If you were just there, you would have been like, there's something like people didn't make these. Like it's just like that, you know. Like where'd all this brick come from? First of all, like who had all the brick back in the day, back in the year 1708? Like, come on.
Nah, dude.
No.
I mean, you know how much extra work that is to like
Put
build
it
a
up,
house like in
plaster it.
the ground? Like, why wouldn't you just build it on top of the ground and not dig out the whole fucking like?
Right.
I
Or
just-
all this stuff that are on hills. I'm like, don't build your house on a hill. What's the matter with you? And all these houses are huge buildings on hills and churches and oh my goodness, it was quite an interesting day. Let me
like Boston's really good for the mud flood because I always ask myself with the the brown, what do they call them, the like the really expensive ones. You know what I mean?
The
But
brass or the bronze or whatever.
something browns, like, but they're really expensive. I don't know. The Cosbys used to live in one, man. You know
like
what I'm talking about.
brownstone, a brownstone.
Yeah, brownstone, exactly. So especially like the brownstones and shit. Like I always wondered why you had to walk downstairs, like under the street, to get to your front door.
And
That was
the
weird.
windows, if you look at the brownstones, like in New York and stuff, even the windows are huge. You can fit 3 people in these windows, and they're massive. So it's like, who were these, homes really for? Because they're extraordinarily large, ceiling, floor to ceiling. It's got, a lot of height there and stuff. But the windows, when you see somebody sticking their head out the window, and then 3 other people come along and they can stick their head out the same window, that's big.
Yeah, that's pretty much the common theme with all these mud flood buildings. And can you guys see what's on the screen? I should have asked.
Yeah.
You can see that? All right. I'm not going to play the audio because it's just up for anyone to see on my page. But this is Amherst College. And you could clearly see that this is on like a fucking 8-foot hill. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can clearly see that's on an 8-foot hill. And what are those? Like, what are those? Like, we went over, like, this is what I showed you, Jen, but, like, why is this in the middle of Massachusetts? Why is there, like, Greek, Roman, Hebrew, whatever looking ass pillars everywhere? Like, I found them down the street. They're downtown. They're in Boston.
Yeah,
they're all over here. What's going on?
You would think all the architects who make all these buildings would say, oh, this pillar thing, it's so played out. Let's try something different. But no,
Right.
no, they're everywhere.
Yeah, dude, and they only put the stair in because it's like 6 feet off the floor, and that one says it was built in 1912 or something. I feel like it was refurbished or dug out of some bull crap then, or I don't know. I don't know what happened between 1750 and 1915, but clearly, all around the world, it was just event after event. Like, we could see that in the Boston fires, New York fires, Chicago fires, whatever happened in San Francisco, the earthquake water bomb or whatever, that blew everything up. Doesn't make any sense. But look at this. What I want to point out here is if, let's say, everything below here was just like at ground level, they would just simply make this a door like they did to the front door, So there's definitely more layers down, as you could see. It's pretty obvious at this rate, People are like, oh, these are just colonial buildings. And, oh, I actually did that. I forgot about that. And it's just, people they don't understand. They don't understand that a bunch of just regular people can't make this. Like, it would take a long effing time and a lot of hard work and precision. The precision part is the thing. It takes so long. You need multiple, series of workers, and you can't trust all these workers. Someone's going to slip up somewhere, and everything is perfect to the T.
Also, Steve, when we
man.
look at the other buildings that we've looked at where they dig away the sidewalk and we see the building going way underground, why would anybody build anything like that? It's utter lunacy to do that. It's not structurally sound to go build windows and doors 3-4 floors underground. I mean, it's clearly something else took place than what they're telling us.
I know, and like this is the hill you got to get up to, and the building's at eye level now, so everything just slopes all the way up. That's a pattern I've been seeing a lot with these mud flood buildings. They're all on random hills. Then there's this building. I should have got a view from the front, but I didn't. I don't know what this is, but looks like a synagogue or some crap. I don't know. But this is the main reason, because I was just driving by, and then, not this stupid little building. Then I drove by, this, over here to the right, and I was just like, wow. I was like, yeah. I'm like, I highly doubt that regular people built this. I don't know. And this is a library. Let's build a library that looks like the White House or the Athens Greek whatever the hell, like what?
Yeah. And this is a campus you're on?
Yeah, it's just a college campus.
This is Amherst, right?
This is Amherst College, yeah.
Dude, I had so many. I just keep thinking of how many fun times I had at that college, though. That's like all I can think of right now. I have so many stories about that college.
Well, extravaganza, how that would always go down there. Those are my memories from just walking by this place, being like 15, 16, 7, going to the pot festival every year in Amherst.
Oh
Then
yeah,
they moved it
sure.
a couple of years ago to Northampton. I'm like, yeah, I want no part of that. I'm good.
I hate Northampton, dude. They're all like stuck up and shit.
Yeah, we could say that. They got something stuck up there.
It's a weird place, man.
Yep.
Steve's in the middle of nowhere.
Right. Look at the size of that door, Little 5'11" me would have if I put myself on my shoulders, I'd still clear that door.
Yeah, dude, people could build these things, but
what's the point?
What's the point? And I could see if it was just one or two things around the world, but why would every culture around the world build these monumental things that have no purpose besides looking cool?
Yeah,
They wouldn't all do that.
Yeah.
There would be some countries that would just practical and on a budget, and you're like, yeah, man, we could put these columns, but we're pretty strapped for cash, man. No, not everybody would do this for no reason.
exactly.
There's consistency around the whole globe.
Yeah, it's crazy how they're everywhere. Everywhere. Like you can go anywhere and find buildings, maybe not like this, but the front of the building for sure. For sure. Like that same type of architecture is everywhere, and it's not brought up like anywhere in history. It's not like, hey, we got inspiration from this, and that. It's like, we're just going to make all of our Capitol buildings and important buildings like this, and the rest we're just going to make, unsturdy wood that can get wiped away, and this, that, and the other thing, Like, look at this building. Like, even it's only 2 stories tall, but I got a funny feeling it's a little taller than that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like over here, how it drops down to a whole nother floor. People could be like, oh, that's just the basement. I'm like, that's what they want you to think the basement is. But I'll give you, I won't give you, but I'll bet you a couple $1,000 if you lift up the tiles in the basement and dig, you're going to find something else. Just saying.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
I was just going to say that, bro. I was just going to say that. Absolutely. Because it'd be so much easier to just cover like almost the top of it, and then, you know what I mean? Because they can't fix that completely, but that would be a kind of a makeshift fix,
Absolutely.
It's just weird. There's just too many buildings like that to make any sense.
Right. And even like a simple archway. Let me see if I can get a better shot of this. Yeah, like an archway like this. Like I still have a hard time believing that it just ends here. Because how many archways do we see that don't get to level? Because they go arch, and a lot of them get level and go down a significant amount of feet. So I have a feeling this probably ends like a couple feet underneath the surface. As you see, it goes much lower over here and around the back. So why would the front be this? I got a weird feeling all these hills weren't here before. Something happened, and if you could see, like in the back of the distance, it all runs down to a valley. Like you really can't see with all these buildings here, but it all just runs down into a valley.
That's
like
a good one
there's
right
a mudslide,
there.
perhaps.
That one right there, you can see how it goes down.
Both of them, right? And look at the top. It's just refurbished. People are like, oh, this is a brand new building. No, it's refurbished. Look at the tops of it. They just refurbished everything.
Yeah.
They just put brand new things over the top of them and dusted them a couple times. That's old school.
You can obviously see that is not a new building. I mean,
like George Washington stayed here probably.
Dude.
What the fuck?
You can't I can't just have a pair of pants from like 2007, then write a date on them and be like, oh, these pants are brand new. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
Right.
Like 2007.
So you get a pair of pants at like Goodwill or something, and they're brand new to you, but they're they could be 20 years old for all you know.
Yeah,
this is the crown jewel. Look at this thing.
Oh yeah, this is awesome.
I don't know what this is, but I kind of do. We figured it out sort of, but this is just sitting, bro. Like you would think that's the top to a church or something, wouldn't you?
Yeah, what is that? Like what is
it for?
It's
just sitting in the ground, bro. At the art museum of all places. All these people call their sick satanic shit art, which I find interesting too. Spirit cooking, all this good stuff. And the sculpture that you're going to see that's on top of this thing is incredible. But look how massive that is, bro.
Wow.
Like off grip, it looks like a church and it has this weird little like. Let me back it up. I don't know what this little. Maybe it's just like intersecting, but I don't know. I just felt weird. There's a random circle stone in the middle of the fucking walkway for the first time ever. You know,
Yo,
I've been
Steve.
walking around this campus all day.
Steve, that thing you were just showing, that crazy thing you were just showing, bro. I got a church like right next to my house that is literally that same exact like brick and design, but it's a whole like gigantic church, bro. Like a
It looks
Where do you see
million
this,
times bigger.
guys?
Did it look
How did
something
they
like
do
that, bro? Like they got the full church here. They didn't say nothing about going
Yeah, it does.
under. How crazy is that, bro?
Yeah, it looks exactly like that. Yes.
They have a statue here, or they have a plaque for the church that's fucking here, but the only thing that's shown is this part, this and up. This is all underground, bro. And they don't really admit it here. They just say it went through some changes from between 1861 and
Oh
19
yeah, it went
something.
through some changes, all right.
No.
Yeah,
No,
bro,
no.
right in my little timeline zone. Something happened.
That's crazy that they show what the whole thing looked like. Like, oh, what was the change? They just took the church and moved it away from the underneath of the steeple, and then just put the steeple on the ground and said, "We're just gonna leave this here."
Right, dude.
I mean,
No way, dude. You're really telling me?
Like,
That's
look,
What are they
crazy.
saying happened then?
there's no real explanation. I kind of like read it in my other. I don't know if it's private or not. I put another video up. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. I don't quite remember, but it's just ridiculous. Like look right here. Like this is all that's showing. This is ground level.
Yep.
Because when I back away, and like 10 fucking seconds, that's the fucking first thing right there, bro. Like come on.
That is such a good find, Steve. That was amazing.
I don't know how I find these things. And dude, there was a door. I was like, get the fuck out of here. There's a door. But it's like on this little like weird wooden plank and it was locked. I'm like, no way. It's like this is like a castle. I don't know what this is. I don't know if those are actual
Oh,
church
man.
or something.
I wonder
but
if you go in, can you go down? You probably go
dude,
down.
that's what
In
I'm
that
saying.
cemetery. Remember the tower in the cemetery? And I
Dude,
said if you go in there, it probably goes down. They probably got this shit all dug out on the inside. There's a whole nother level, all kinds of levels down there and shit.
Yo, that's a good question. Can you go down there? Like
I tried, bro. Watch here. Let me fast forward a little because I'm showing here how it's like fucking 30 feet down to the pavement level where the street is. So that's all underground, bro. It has to be. It's all underneath there.
Bro, I never even heard of this thing. I'm sure I noticed it, but no one ever told me like it was a big ass church under the ground. Like what the fuck? Look how big, according to that diagram, look how big that church must have been. Because that's just the top.
Yep.
Dude, that thing was gigantic.
It's so crazy. But I found a door. It didn't have any fucking locks on it or anything. Here,
Look, Steve, you could have reenacted that cartoon while you were there. You would have been like, look, it's the library.
I literally could have, but check this out. I found there's a door on the other side. It had no hinges, but it didn't open. I actually tried really hard to bust it open. I was just like grabbing with my hand, and it would. I didn't want to kick it, cause a scene, but it wouldn't open. But this freaked me out. This is the smoothest thing I've ever touched in my life, guys. This freaked me out. That freaked me out. I'm getting out of here. I'm like, I don't know how old this thing is. I'm like, yeah, 1918. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. I started talking shit and walked away pretty much. But yeah. Give me a break. 1918. And they're making effing whatever videos, they got wooden steeples and shit like that. 1918. Had me crying of laughter. I'm like, yeah. But there was no one on campus. I found that weird because I'd go there in the summertime just to hang out with some people, and still there'd be a couple people, but there was no one there. It was just the weirdest little thing. Little thing.
It must be weird.
The first time I've ever seen anything like that with a plaque that actually shows the rest of the building. We're usually using our imaginations to look at these things and surmise what it might look like underground, but that was like a whole picture of it. It was cool.
Yeah, that's weird, man. That's crazy. I really I'm about to take a trip up there.
Dude,
It's
let
only
me
2
know.
hours.
We can link up, bro. Smoke a
It's only
little
2 hours.
goober.
Yo, yeah, when I get a day off for sure. But yo, I basically I definitely use this whole situation. If anybody's working right now, like still has their job and going to work, I still work 40 hours a week. But today, well, a couple days ago, I was just like, yo, like we're way busier than we should be normally. I'm doing way more work.
You're at Lowe's, right?
This mask, and I was like, this mask is detrimental to my health. If I have to wear this mask, I need to get paid more. And yo, I didn't even so I went to work today. I got called into HR with the head manager and whatever. Yo, this wasn't like a 60-cent raise or anything. I got a $6 raise.
No way.
Just for saying that. $6 an hour raise on top. Like, I was like, all right. All I had to do was say, I know these masks are detrimental to my health, and I should be getting paid more. That's
Wow.
That's crazy. That's
not
awesome.
nobody else did, but they were just like, yeah, well, there you go. I was like, cool.
That's awesome, dude.
Right? I mean, I'm obviously still against the mask, but so
Yeah,
are they.
do something, you know, you gotta do something. And it's funny, like you said, you hate Northampton. I'm driving around the town and I wasn't able to get a picture of the signs they have up everywhere, but they got signs up. If you don't have a face mask, you're subjected to a $300 fine in public, and it was ridiculous. I saw it on Mass Live the other day. I was sharing it around, but actually, I think Richie shared it too, which was pretty cool. But no one, but like I'd say less than half the people there had masks on in Northampton. So there's still a decent amount of people that didn't really, you know, give a shit. But I'm driving through the little town and all the good little, like, I don't like going there, but they have good food in Northampton. You know what I'm saying? You can't deny that either, Sweets. They have decent food up there, and all the good places are shut down because they're about the size of my bedroom. You know, they're just little holes in the wall, and none of them are open through this, which sucks. Just like my place, it sucks. Like little places can't survive with 3 people in the restaurant at all times, even with takeout, even with grab and go, Uber Eats, whatever. Like, you know, you wouldn't have enough to pay the rent, the food costs, the people that are working, and the taxes. Let's say people, because people like to slide that little plastic magic card, you know, and there's a fee for that at the end of every month that you got to pay. If you're a business owner, let's say I'm a restaurant owner, and let's say people paid $2,000 last month in credit cards or debit cards or whatever, I got to pay an X amount of tax on that. How stupid is that?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah,
it's
dude.
more convenient. Imagine that.
So we don't believe in coincidences. Don't you think it's a synchronicity of some sort or a message of some sort that the Bible Mandela effect said, where it used to say, Jesus said, where 2 or more gather in my name, and it changed to 2 or 3. It limited it. And now we find ourselves in this predicament in our current reality that we're in, where you can't gather more than 2 people in places. They close churches down and stuff.
I think that could have been them messing with us. Like, we're just going to actually tell them part of the plan, and they're going to be like, it's just a Mandela something. So we write it off, but then it happens and we're all scratching our head like we are now. Like, shit, like what just happened? It's ridiculous. But what else did I have here? Where's the, let me just do another big screen share real quick, and we'll bring up your video in a second, Jen.
Okay.
So let me get this here, big screen. And so if anyone is, this is where I just was, Amherst College. This is where I was earlier today. As you can see, this is the little whatever thing, and just all these crazy little mud flood buildings everywhere. Like, you really wouldn't believe them if you saw them, you know, type of things like that. But earlier, I worked my way over here to where I called you first, Jen, at UMass Amherst. And I thought this was an interesting little find here. You got half windows in the basement. I know it's a little snowy, but still, you can tell it goes down a little bit further than what it really is supposed to be going down. And
But
then
could you imagine if that steeple was the only thing sticking out and that whole building was underneath, just like that other one? That would be crazy. You know what I mean? It's like now when I see
I
these
know.
towers and steeples and stuff, I think there's a whole fucking building under there.
Right. It's just crazy. Then you got this weird building with lines down it. I thought that was strange. I was showing you that in the drive-in.
Yeah,
I
that's
just
weird.
didn't know really the make of that. But this church, I didn't really get a chance to go up to it because it was the traffic in UMass Amherst is ridiculous. It's literally like a metropolitan effing city. I don't understand why, but it's like that. But if you just look here, guys, like there's no snow and you have half windows down here. There's, 4 feet of steps to get up, 5, 6 over here actually to this door. It's all elevated and it's unproportional. Like I show with that other video, this is probably not what I want to be doing right now. This is probably just like we were showing the like the balcony, and they just threw a freaking doorway in to make you think that this is a doorway, but in reality, it's just a window balcony, and the real door is, probably 2 or 3 feet, or not feet, stories below the surface here. This whole entire like area in Amherst is just crazy. It's so historical, just magnificent, like interesting stuff. And the clock tower and. Like, you're telling me people built this in the year, like, 18 whatever? Like, how old is this? Let's see. Old. Let me type in chapel. There we go. There we go. 1887. Opened in 1887, so probably got constructed, probably the 20 or 30 years before that they're saying? I don't know if I buy that.
No way.
No, you got a nice little like pentagram inside too. That's nice.
Oh, of
Oh,
course.
sweet.
Right, sign me up. Can't wait to go to church, Mom and Dad. Yeah, there it is. Look at that. Wow.
What?
And I just make things up.
It's hidden in plain sight. Hidden in plain sight. They never
Looks
even
like
know it.
Star Trek. Looks like
The
Star
church
Trek.
is always right in front
It
of their
does.
face.
It looks
They
like
can't-
Space Force a little bit. Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Definitely.
crazy. Scary little black and white picture.
Yo, that's creepy, bro. That's creepy. Yo, there's so much creepy shit around here, isn't there, Steve?
Oh, dude, don't get me started, bro. Like, I've been to not all of them. I've been to a handful of them, and I'm good, bro, in the whole creepy stuff, man. Like, it got to me. I'm good. Look at that little ice cream cone for the kid.
Mm.
All right, where have you gone, Sweeze? That's creepy around here. This is the mystery show, so all topics aboard, pal.
Bro,
The mystery.
let me tell you about a place called Paul Dever.
Who?
Paul Dever is a place, not a. Well, I mean, I'm sure it's a person as well. But okay, so this place is it was a mental institution, but before that, it was like for POWs in World War I or something, like some weird shit. Like basically, a lot of people died in that place. A lot of people. And what's weird about this place, it kind of makes me think about Mudflood a little bit because it's like 8 separate buildings, but they're all connected with gigantic underground tunnels.
Oh,
It's
The state school?
Yes.
In Mass? Yeah, dude, I almost went there. I'm a little too scared to
I
go
lived right
somewhere that
near
big,
there. I
but
lived
yeah,
right
dude, I
near
almost went there.
did you go through the
Dude.
tunnels?
Absolutely.
Oh, you're out of your mind, kid. I love you.
Bro, I live like I grew up like fucking 10 minutes from there, bro. So
Yeah,
this one time we went in there though. Yo, I mean, we used to go with like a lot of people, you know, but I used to go like wandering by myself. Yeah, exactly. That's it. Yep.
Dude, I
So
don't
all
want to
of-
interrupt you real quick, but this is literally just identical to the Belchertown State Schools. That's another scary place to go. That's still kind of up, but ironically, the state police have made a barrack right there, so it's really fun to go to. Let's put it that way. But
Yo, I used to go there all the time, and I will never go there again, Steve. And I'll tell you why.
I can.
And yes, gonna ball. Gun and Ball. It is in Taunton, Mass. Yes, Taunton, Massachusetts. Yeah, you probably did see a video of mine in Paul Dever because we have some videos on YouTube from like way back in the day, bro. I'm talking like shit, like a long time ago. But dude, we used to make these like documentaries, right, Steve, of us going through the fucking tunnels, right?
Yeah, I've been there, kid. Yep. Not there, but definitely, yep.
Bro, I shit you not. I am not even kidding with you. We all watched the video after we got home, right? And everyone that was there was accounted for. Like in this shot, everyone is accounted for in this big hallway. And you absolutely see a very large figure walk behind all of us.
Wow.
Bro. Oh my God. We used to go there like almost every weekend, bro. Like 15, 20 of us, bro. And I'm talking like I'm talking like some street ghetto gangster motherfuckers that I grew up with. You know what I mean?
And they
like,
come running out of there probably.
Oh, they were all like way more scared than I was though. Like, dude, I used to run
because all the kids I'd bring with me, they'd be running before I'd be. I'm like, they're like, you're not scared? I'm just like, oh, I'm terrified, but where are you going, bro? I'm like, get the camera, you loser.
Oh, but I assure you, not now, bro. I know too much to even go into any of those places.
Dude,
we went into one of the,
bro.
Steve, did you go to the building? Did you go to the building that is just filled with cat skeletons?
No, bro. What's that about?
Dude, okay, so one of the buildings, first of all, like all of these buildings, there's one building that literally just has pictures and folders on folders on folders and files of all the kids that were in this like mental institution and shit. And it's like horrifying, man. It's like, it's crazy. Like all these kids that were like tortured in there. It was awful. It's awful, man. Like, we were gonna take some shit home, but then we convinced my boy to like not even fuck with that. Dude, there's an entire building. What's weird is there's like 8 buildings, right? And they're only connected by these underground tunnels, which aren't like, they're huge underground tunnels. So
that's how they would transport people.
Yeah, dude, exactly. Not transport people and not have the people above.
Did you see any of the wheelchairs and the gurneys down there and shit?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, running, bro. We ran, bro. Fuck that.
Yeah, it's all still in there. Like nobody even cleaned it out. It's like somebody just like left their house in the middle of the night, you know? It's fucking crazy.
Like,
it makes you wonder what happened there that they just left it. Like, you know, they didn't try to demolish it. They didn't try to clean it out.
All the files. There's mad files and paperwork, dude. It's crazy.
Wow.
But they have security there and shit too. And they like beefed up the security when we kept breaking in there like every other weekend. But we still went in there all the time. One security guy didn't gonna do shit, you know? But I will never go there again. One of the buildings, and we have this on footage. I could find it for you, I'm sure. So this is from like 18 years ago, you know, 16 years ago. So one of the buildings, in just one building, just one of the 8, just is filled with just cat skeletons. What? Why just one building?
Why cat skeletons?
Exactly.
Dude, that's
Is that
weird.
what made you be like, I'm not coming back here? Or what was the tipping point for you? Was it the big shadow man you guys found on film? That was it?
Of course.
Oh my God, dude, that's so scary.
Man.
How big was he, do you think?
Yo, it had to be at least 7 feet tall because a lot of my boys are at least 6 feet tall. And this thing overshadowed, like 15 of us were in the hallway. So like 15 of us were accounted for in this one shot. And you just saw like right behind us, it almost looked like it like didn't even go behind us, just like through us. Because it was transparent, but it was very obvious because all 15 of us were watching the video together after, and every single person was was in shock. And none of us ever went back there again, period.
That's crazy, bro.
And I never did anything like that again, ever.
Is that the only place you really went to, or did you go to other places?
Nah, dude, I've been a bunch of places. I mean, you kind of have to around here, right?
Dude, yeah,
But,
it's kind of a Massachusetts thing, isn't it? We're all spooky.
bro, I'm in places right now. My house was built fucking 120 fucking years ago. You know?
man.
Or was it?
Right. Got him.
I do have a basement.
It was reclaimed
I do have a
100
basement.
years ago.
I do have a basement.
Yeah,
That's
I bet you got more than a
crazy.
basement. You should try to go down a little further in there.
I have. My father got pissed.
See, I would like to go to one of these mud flooded buildings, like that abandoned place, maybe not one that's so haunted or anything, and try to go down as far as we can, see what's going on.
This place got torn down, unfortunately, but this was on my list for a long time, Squeeze, when I was into this stuff. The Northampton State School, they
God.
tore it down. I just wanted to go for the architecture, honestly. But there was like some messed up stuff going on here back in the day, I guess. But like, imagine, I don't know if I could handle that, brother.
Big that is.
Dude, what would your approach be, bro? Like send 2 people over here, 2 people over there, just like fucking I don't even know. That's the
I
scary.
don't know what's going on underground at that place.
That's what I'm saying. No, they leveled it all and now apartments are there. I'm like, that's the dumbest thing you could probably do. But all right, state of Massachusetts, do your thing. These people are gonna be haunted for the rest of their lives. Like, are you serious? Like, look how crazy this place looks. First of all, Jen, like this has got mud flood written all freaking over it. Like, are you serious?
And it's
Like-
that red brick again.
And it's so old it's fading to fucking black, and it's got roots growing out of it. Like, are you serious? Like, it got
Wow.
taken down, obviously, but this was one of the places to go to back in the day. But unfortunately, it got taken down. But what else did I want to show you? Oh yeah, the Munson one. Munson.
Hey, yo, Steve, let me ask you something real quick.
What's up?
So, I'm down if you're down, bro. Would you be down to go to Lizzie Borden's house with me?
I backed out of that 3 years ago just because of someone quit. Someone backed out on me because you need like 4 people or 5 people to sign up. You got to give them like $60. Yeah,
That's it?
yeah, and they lock you in from like 9 to 3.
They lock you in?
They lock you in from 9 to 3.
What?
Yeah, at 3 o'clock, you'll be like, let me the fuck out of here.
Right. Well, I mean, that's when shit kicks up, you know. I want to get taken out at like 4, you know. 'Cause
Yeah.
I've had the most intense paranormal activity happen at 3. Obviously, that's no coincidence there, but it's just ridiculous the stuff that pops off at 3. Maybe that's for our own safety. Who knows? Who knows, man? Because that place is kind of messed up. Like, I know a lot of like TV shows have been there, and they do a lot of fake stuff here and there. But honestly, bro, all the ghost adventures, ghost hunter, whatever they are, all the places they've gone to up here, I verified are real. You know, so that's just what I can say about that.
Yeah,
All
dude.
of
I mean, I've seen it firsthand and have videos, so I don't need to see any of the ghost shit, adventure shit, because I've lived it. So
Right. Well, when I was a kid, I was always like interested. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna visit here. I visited there. I'm like, okay, that place is effed up. This place is muffed up. That place is muffed up. I'm like, maybe these guys are doing a bit more than what the TV's actually portraying, you know? Because a lot of these like altercations that I've had have been like, you know, like I've only had a camera for like 3 or 4 of them, but like the other like 12, 15 times, like if we had cameras, bro, like yeah, I'd have like a travel fucking show TV series out right now. Like that stuff is no joke. Because one time, bro, we went to the Belchertown State Schools, and it's literally just like what you were showing me in Taunton. And my buddy, this is when the iPhone or the iPod like 6 came out with the double camera and shit. So it was super HD. And we had that going. We had a flashlight next to it, so the lighting was decent. And we recorded our whole session in there. We fucked with a Ouija board. Shit got real, and it's not even that big, but it took us like an hour to get out of there because we were just running frantically. It was ridiculous. And we went to go review my buddy's footage the next day, and his phone was locked for like 75,000 hours. Imagine that. So we caught something, yeah, but we couldn't we couldn't watch it because it was gonna be locked for 75,000 hours, and we did that out, and it's like, you know, like 20 years or whatever. It would have been like 70,000 days, or it was something ridiculous. It wasn't gonna happen in our lifetime, so we just resetted the phone, and I haven't been there since. Actually, no, I did go there once, but that's when I found out that the police barracks are there now. So that was a short trip, to say the least. We didn't get caught, but saw a bunch of flashlights and we heard a bunch of dogs in the distance, and we're like, we're going to get out of here because stuff like that has happened to us. Stuff where I was showing you right here in Munson. There's an insane asylum in Munson. It's like a whole effing city. And the security is tight there. I'll tell you that. Security is tight. But this is the one in freaking in Belchertown. This is scary. All this stuff. I don't know why it pops up under Munson, but these places are nuts. Here, let me go to the Belchertown ones because I'll show you the scariest fucking place to go in there.
Well, look, we don't know how many people died during this last mud flood. We don't know what's buried under all these buildings. Everywhere we walk, all over the place. I mean, there's got to be people that didn't make it out that were on these lower floors. And when people came back in to reclaim these areas and start inhabiting these buildings again, I'm sure they had people go in and clean them out. And you can find old pictures of people like pulling things out of towns on carts, you know, horse and cart and stuff with really large bowls and chairs and everything. It's like, wait a minute, why would you have a giant bowl and a giant chair in the back of your cart when you're a little person? Like, where were they taking this stuff to? It was probably all going to get destroyed or landfilled or whatever.
Absolutely. And like I said before, there's only 2 buildings on the whole campus that are made of wood and look like this. By far 2 of the scariest buildings. And these are probably the only 2 buildings that aren't mud flood, because on the entire like other part of the campus, it's just like old fashioned buildings. Like you could see here kind of a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just like old fashioned brick buildings, like, you know, shit like this that have like fucking like 30 feet doors and, you know, the typical stuff we look at, Jen, just ridiculousness. But let me get back to this building. This here is the scariest building in this goddamn place. That's a fact. Like, I stepped foot onto this porch, and I swear, like right in this little doorway, I heard something punch the ground, like up here, and we heard what sounded like 6 or 7 dogs get up and start running around upstairs. So we booked it out, and then it was silence. And then it was just like the creepiest silence. And we went inside the house, and every single door had like a pentagram on it and like just beds and paperwork. And we're like, we're getting out of here. Like, this is nuts, bro. Like,
you ever smell anything really strange or strange smells and stuff? Oh, look at that. That don't look good.
No, well, not here, but yeah, at the old Hoosick Tunnel. Like, you can get a nice whiff of like sulfur, and that's usually when bad things happen. Which we've come to find out, you know, is a common theme. But like, there's part of the architecture that I like, you know, pointing out that a little too perfect to be done by the old. Exactly. I wonder what that's for. But this is just crazy times back then, putting a bunch of people in schools. And this is what you're looking at night, people, pretty much. I don't know who has a giant effing light, but this is what I'm saying, Jen. You got to go up a whole story to get to the front door. I know it's a shitty picture.
Right.
How crazy is that? Like, this entire campus, every single building is like that. It's so creepy. Just
and that's
like
probably
this.
The youngest part of the building is the fake stairs and doors that they put in to
absolutely,
you know, reclaiming the building.
Yep. They reclaim. That's a good way to put it. Reclaiming the building, like, and they had to like cut a little doorway out for them because clearly they're not, you know, 15 feet tall. This place was just crazy, creepy.
I'm blown away at how much red brick is up there.
It's Massachusetts. Everything's red brick up here. It's crazy. Like everything I was showing you earlier in Amherst and all that stuff, all red brick. It's just so crazy. So crazy.
Everything.
Yeah,
That material had to come from somewhere.
That's what I'm saying. What's like red, orangey looking brick color? The old Grand Canyon. That's where I stand on that. I think that's where you stand on that too,
Oh, yeah.
Jen.
Absolutely. It makes sense. When you look at all the brick buildings, especially if you go through Detroit, Chicago, and all those places, even Philadelphia, there's brick everywhere. And if these buildings are old as we are surmising that they are, that most likely, if you look at the Grand Canyon and realize that that's one huge quarry that's been excavated, that material had to go somewhere. And then you got all that. So it's where did all this red brick come from? You have to material, and then you process it, and then you make bricks out of it. But the material itself, I feel.
Right, like how much work would it have to be to produce like the brick for not even like putting it together, just producing the brick for all the buildings, and all the bricks have to be perfect. I understand people can make bricks nowadays, no problem, but way back then, like they're way too perfect. They're so smooth. It's like they were put in without flaw.
Yeah.
Perhaps, but you guys cool taking like a 5-minute break real quick?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, then we'll put on that video, Jen. I got it queued up here at like 5.5 minutes. So
okay, that sounds good.
Play that next. We'll be right back, guys. Don't go anywhere.
Come, I'll show you the sweetest delight in the garden. As a surprise for Adam.
Really?
Come.
All right.
Here.
But this is the one tree in the garden we cannot touch. This is the forbidden fruit.
Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden? Surely not.
We may eat the fruit of any tree in the garden, except for the tree in the middle of the garden. God has forbidden us to either touch or eat the fruit of that tree, for if we do, we shall die.
You believe that nonsense? Of course you will not die. God knows that as soon as you eat it, your eyes will be opened, and you and Adam will be like gods yourselves.
One day we'll reach the level of the avatars that we have read about in history, the Buddhas and Jesus, infinite ones, God.
You ancient serpent, you cast your spell up on this planet with your graven images and your wishes to be worshipped. Witches and warlocks flock like Harry Potter fans, waiting for your new age plan to spread across the land. You got the masses dumped down where you want them, convinced that you don't exist, and now you got them atheists. Some even think they're evolving to a godlike level above and beyond human. These Luciferian lies feed on ego and pride. They come disguised as an angel of light, like the original sin and the first deception. The tree in the garden, don't you see the connection? It's the same old lie that he used back then at the beginning of time, at the fall of man. Have we forgotten the truth within the book of Genesis? Ignorant of the nature of sin, so we dismiss written words of God as an irrelevant myth, but then embrace all these new age thoughts of nonsense.
It's not good or bad. There's no God waiting to punish you as you did one another. There is no God in doing everyone is God. Welcome to the kingdom of heaven, without judgment, without hate, without testing, without anything.
I call my practices that pagan worshiping in fact exists. See through the smoke and the mirrors and the mist. From Atlantis to the American fanatical myths, to the UFO connection with the German SS. Secret society elitists from the east and the west. Illuminati and Masonics had it all connect. Satanic worship to the depths we don't want to admit. It's a globalized illusion that we gotta correct. Check the symbols and signs like the all-seeing eye. Read the Bible facts to understand the great design. See the writing on the wall, we're living in end times. And even the elected now bought into the lie. Real Satanists are dressed up in their suits and ties, eating the fruit like these fools who think they are divine. They aren't evolved They're just blinded by ego and pride, living a lie that disguised like Jekyll and Hyde. Can you deny that these times were all prophesied? Read Matthew 24:24, you decide.
There's no such thing as good or bad. Judging takes time and supervision. There are things that I do that I know they involve you. There are other things that do not involve you. But it's not good or bad. There's no God waiting to punish you as you did one another. It is now gone.
All right, we are back, and I'm mid-dab right now, so you're gonna have to deal with that for a second. Oh shit. We're back, and I should probably get Jen's video all queued up. Wow, that's a good tasting dab right there. You love to see it. Right, Jen? You love to see it.
I love that.
Love it. You love to see it. So before I hit play there, you want to tell everyone real quick what we're about to be witnessing here for a couple minutes?
Yeah, so I was looking into Angkor Wat. I came across a video of a guy talking about how it's in Cambodia, by the way, Angkor Wat. It's supposed to be like, I don't know, 1,200 years old. That's what they tell us it is.
Oh,
but, he was surmising that these buildings aren't as old as they're telling us they are based on the trees that are growing out of them. And I was like, oh my gosh, this guy's thinking right along the same lines as I am, is that, a lot of these structures that they're putting these ancient, dates on and stuff aren't as ancient as they're telling us they are. And
what, he thinks it's a little more recent in history or back?
Yeah, because these trees are these trees are only 100 years old. And he goes into more detail and explains it a little more. And also he explains how these pictures, these black and white pictures that are shown to the people there at Angkor Wat are dressed as the same as the caricatures that they have sculpted throughout the complex. And that these are the inhabitants. It's not like they're just reenacting this stuff or whatever. They've lied to us about everything across the board. And we're starting to figure out more and more that the timeline is off. And the things that they told us that are, ancient and, really far back in time are actually a lot closer to us. I find that interesting that that's happening also because when we look at the Mandela effect and you look at the tech before its time, all that stuff seems to be getting pushed back in the time. So there's like this push-pull kind of thing going on with timelines. And, every day when I look more and more into this and I have more original ideas and thoughts about what actually is happening here, because we're never going to get the truth from them. They'll throw truths out there. But, if you have the eyes to see it, then you can see it and piece it together and figure out what they're trying to tell us, because they have to tell us the truth. But they're not going to tell us to our faces, and it's not going to be in his storybook. So
no,
it's
not like... Right. It's not like Lucifer is going to walk up to you in a big red devil suit with the horns on and a 666 T-shirt and shake your hand and be like, hey, guys, I'm Lucifer. Here's the mark.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. It's not going to be that easy. It's never like that. It's just so crazy. And I was going to make another point there, but I kind of forgot. Where'd Squeeze go? He says he needs a picture. There he is. Back. There's a picture. You don't need a picture. I didn't even know I was talking about
what I needed was some snack.
What you got? A little snack? What'd you say? No, I didn't hear you.
No here? Can you hear me?
Oh no. Is it happening again?
You might have to leave. You have to leave and come back.
Uh-oh.
Should I get out and come back?
Yes, go all the way out.
Yes. Yeah, his audio is kind of choppy too.
Well, StreamYard fuckery.
It's more of that YouTube crap. You really hate to see it. You really do. But, wow, what was I going to say? Something about, I don't quite remember. Squeeze had me all thrown off. I started reading comments while you were talking. I hate when I do that. So I get all my good thoughts. Oh, you said something about good, original thoughts, right?
Yeah.
So this is not really an original thought from me, but someone said this and I kind of like expanded on it a little bit. It was oh crap, what did this dude say? Yeah, it's just floating away from me again. That sucks. It sucks, man. It was right there.
The age of the buildings or anything like that, or the timeline being off.
No, there was something about the time being sped up at the or the Mandela effect, like shifting time, and we don't know how much time we really have in reality. But
we don't even know what time it is, let alone what we're on, where we're at, who we really are, and what is really going on here. We literally know nothing. When you really start to wake up, you wake up to the fact that you are clueless. You don't know. None of us do.
Yeah.
And for us to collectively come together and start having all these original ideas and original thoughts and bouncing them off of each other and going on this show and that show, and even just shows that you might not agree with all the way, but they got some meat in there that could be useful to the puzzle that you're putting together.
Totally.
Because it's theories.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But the thing with time is, because time's mentioned a couple of, well, no pun intended, times in the Bible, like at the end of times, the days are going to be shortened regardless, because the sun is only going to be a third lit. It'll only be a third of the stars, a third of the moon. So therefore, a third of the day will be gone. That's not for a little bit, I don't think. But before then, I prophesized about how time will feel like it's shortened, like it's happening right now. And then another thing is, at the end in Revelation, towards not really the end, a good middle part, I think the last trumpet goes off and an angel declares time no more. I don't know what that's supposed to mean or what happens when that happens, but there'll be no more time at some point, and that's interesting. I find that rather interesting, and like I'm saying, someone's original thought on that is maybe if this is really the end times, or even for people in the end times, pray for them or for us, for our time to be shortened as well, so that we can just zip right through it. That's what someone was trying to get across in a video, and I was like, that's not a bad idea, kind of feel bad praying hey God, you want to speed this up a little bit, but if it'll make the suffering not just for me but for everyone I know, care about, and everyone here in the chat on YouTube, you, Sweeze, everyone, Brian, if it makes all of it go by quicker for you guys, maybe it's not a bad idea for us to put our energy towards that and pray towards the end of times coming and going. I think they busted open a seal, and because once you bust one open, the second one's going to bust, and then comes the third and the fourth. And it's unfortunate the first four seals happen to be horsemen. So, things are going to happen, and things are happening right now, whether we know it or not. There could be incredible things happening in Brazil right now, or Argentina, or Iran, and we're not knowing about it because we're in America, where we can only get a select amount of media. We think we're not like China, because China has their own internet. We think we have the internet for everywhere, which we really don't, because we're censored and blocked so much. It makes finding information almost impossible. And I think Sweeze is back. Let's see. Can you hear us, Sweeze? Thumbs up? What'd I do?
Yeah.
Look at that. You're good. What about you, Jen? Can you hear everything? 5 by 5?
5 by 5.
All right, here we go. 10 by 10. I like it. But all right, so this is your video here on what, Cambodia?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Oh, did I share audio? I did. All right, let me know if you could hear this. I could turn it up too if need be. There's actually nothing being said here. Hold on.
The way in which some of the Khmer temples, she states.
Can you hear that, or should I bump it up a little?
No, it's good.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Actually, on a couple of them are overgrown with these trees. Certainly, it creates of them are.
What exactly is this?
They're ancient ruins, Angkor Wat in Cambodia.
Those are dope, though.
Right, that's you ever see that show, Sweeze, when you were a teenager or a kid, Legends of the Hidden Temple on Nickelodeon?
Mm-hmm.
Yo,
So,
I,
like,
I always wanted to be on that, man.
Yo, me too. I want to be a Purple Panther, but that's besides the fact. This is that dude, bro. This is the guy that is like telling the show. The fucking stone guy. That's crazy.
Oh man.
Overgrown with these trees. Certainly, it creates a very mystical atmosphere. But being mystical should not be
What?
confused with being very old.
Yo,
because
what
an
is that?
actual critical study
I don't know.
should not
Is that a tree? man?
Yes, that's a tree. He's going to explain all this. You guys have to listen. Turn it up more.
Yeah, turn it up. Turn it up. Yeah.
Lady said she can hear it fine. Now everyone wants to turn it up. Let's see.
Like she's yelling at us.
very
Bro.
old.
I know. Every show, bro. I'm just kidding.
That's the mom in me.
Oh my goodness. All right, let me know. Can you hear this better?
Because an actual critical study
Go
of the
back a tiny
situation
bit.
regarding the overgrown
Just
atmosphere.
go back. There you go. Just a
But
little bit
being
more.
mystical should not be a couple of them
There
are
you
overgrown with these trees. Certainly, it creates a very mystical atmosphere.
What?
But being mystical should not be confused with being very old, because an actual critical study of the situation regarding the overgrown trees also shows evidence, she states, that the full complex was not abandoned a long time ago, as they're trying to convince us, but in much more recent times.
I could see that.
This spectacular species of tree, of which there are a couple of varieties of them, have an unusual lifespan of
What are these little things? Those are interesting little totem pole things.
around 100 years. Sometimes they could even live up to 200 years. If this complex of temples scattered around the jungle,
I wonder, like, who drew this and what inspired them? Like, what do you see here? I see a giant person.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like some like wings or something. I don't know. This is nuts. In Cambodia of all places. This is crazy. Where the fuck is Cambodia?
or a very large area of
That's like in
10,000
Asia, right?
kilometers,
Yeah, it's like
but this was abandoned for many
Vietnam or
centuries,
something.
she states.
Yeah.
There should have been
Oh,
many
wow. Right next to
generations
Nam.
of such huge trees which lived and died, and their trunks remaining dry.
Oh wow, what is that? Not what I thought it was.
She visited Angkor Wat several years ago, and this was not at all what she observed. Actually, she continued, only a couple of numerous temples are overgrown with such spectacular trees. The fact, let's say 80% of these temples are unaffected speaks for itself. And again, as she claimed, they are scattered here and there in the jungle. They are not clustered at one place, which is somehow protected from seeds dropped by the trees.
Wow, look at like
There
the
is no-
perfection. Like all of these.
Yep.
That's nuts. And it all just like fades out too. Like that just, ironically perfect angle, but
Question of the lack of seeds.
I digress.
It is not that the big trees are missing, because they were all removed.
Oh
during
wow. That's
restoration.
like damn, that's a person.
So these trees live 100 to 200 years, and this temple is not as old as they're telling us that it is.
That's so crazy. Let me hit play again.
They can't be removed so easily because the roots grow in between the stones, and to remove them, you would need to first dismantle the full building. So it's not the case that a couple of decades ago there were much, much more trees, and now they are simply cleaned up. No, she states. There is no claim that this is the case, and it can't be the case. The number of trees is one thing, but also their size. There are very few huge and spectacular trees, whereas there are small trees with smaller diameters of thickness in their hundreds in these couple of overgrown temples.
Wow.
So this also shows that the place was abandoned relatively recently within our historic time periods. Otherwise, we would find around the numerous dried trunks of huge trees.
I'd say like
So-
250 to 350 years ago. That's what I'd say.
So
maybe even like 175, 200. That's a stretch, I think. But
yeah. Well, what he
Yeah.
just said there was key. If these trees only live 100 to 200
that's what
years,
I'm saying. Yeah.
and this thing's 1,200 years old or older, that there would be all these dead trunk trees all over the place. But-
Everywhere. You don't really see any.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's muffed up, Jen. Like you'd say, muffed up. I've been saying that a lot lately.
Thank you.
Ooh, that's crazy.
Those here, she suggests,
Listen,
all the trees are small. Really big, spectacular trees, she claims, are very, very rare. Also, in recent years, articles stated appearing in the media claiming it's urgent as the trees started destroying Angkor Wat at an alarming rate.
What? Look at
So the
face.
question is,
What the fuck?
were they not doing this for hundreds of years since it was abandoned?
Nah,
So the
hold
question
on a minute. What the fuck is this? It's like a face in the door.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah.
I saw it immediately.
Hey, you couldn't pay me to go to this place. Sorry. Looks beautiful, but I'll watch from the distance or something. I'll man the boat. Yeah.
I think that's
Were they
Lizzie
not
Borden
doing
though.
this?
Yeah.
Pretty
Wait for you guys outside.
cool.
For hundreds of years since it was abandoned, and now we take care of it, and all of a sudden,
Good
the trees-
God. Like, that's a doorway. These are people.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know the Asian people are slightly kind of smaller sometimes, but that's a big doorway.
Yeah.
Are you serious? I know Yao Ming is like 7'4", but like, good Lord, like that's huge. For real. I'm just saying, like, wow. That's nuts, especially in Cambodia. Because I used to work at a factory with a lot of Vietnamese people. And like I said, Nam's right next to Cambodia. Like I just found out, and I mean, they're all the tallest one there was literally like 5'3". I love them. Don't get me wrong; they're good little fellas. They're hard workers, but they're not big over there. Like, what do they have? What sense do they have making a doorway this big? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Well, in their defense, Steve, I'm also 5'3", and I have built doorways that big
Okay.
Right. Well, that's
by
like
myself. By
Well, that's-
myself.
I'm not saying it's impossible, but what's the real point? Back
Yeah, right, dude.
nowadays, you
You
gotta
really think I did
fit like a truck underneath or a tractor. But like, what are they fitting? You know, a horse and a buggy would go to here. You still
Yeah.
got 20 feet to work with.
And the
Yo.
rudimentary tools that we're told that they built this stuff with in Cambodia, for Christ's sake.
Sticks and stones, right?
What if they built them for the gods, Steve?
I think the lowercase gods, the lowercase gods. I think they built these or
Yeah.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean by the lowercase god.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by
Absolutely. Yeah,
exactly.
they either built this with some like Naruto technique and just went boom and then it showed up, or they laid down some blueprints, said go gather some of these, some of those. Let me get that, put it together, and there's your new building making method or whatever. Because these
Right.
people are more complex than they're giving credit for. Like to make what's that ayahuasca stuff, you gotta get the DMT, then you gotta get the roof of that other thing like 90 miles down the river. You
Yes.
put it together and then you're gone, you know? So like who would even think of that? You know, the random people 90 miles away? No.
Yeah, bro, because like that kind of ingredient, like that stuff, you can't just stumble upon those ingredients.
Right. I'm gonna put these together and see what happens.
Yeah.
Like, how many ingredients did you have to put together that like killed you before you found that?
Yeah, the master blend, right?
Yeah, like what are you?
Let me
what are you
call up my
talking
boy
about?
90 miles away, give him a text message. Yo, you got that root?
Right. You got
Like-
that one elderberry or something?
Like yo, I found this root. Let me carry it for like 90 miles down this river, and let me just find some random shit at the bottom of the river, and then I'll just like put them together, and let's just see what happens.
Right.
Get the fuck
Right.
out of here.
Give me a break.
Obviously, somebody told them what to do.
Right. They were given some sort of instructions. And I think that's what all the carvings on the walls are everywhere that we don't understand, because
Yeah.
people are like, oh, that's so like not like pre-Adamic, but like, you know, just like monkey talk in a way, you know, like what do they call it? The Neanderthal writings? You can't read them. You know, they're just cave writings. But in reality, it's probably some language like fucking we've never heard of before that are given instructions that we would never even think of before. So,
Right.
what best way to put a secret than in plain sight in a language that no one's going to understand? Like, it's probably some original Babylonian language or something.
Well, in the Book of Enoch, he describes the angels and their abilities, and
it's
taught
nuts.
men all about the roots and all about ironwork and forging weapons and war and medicines, and women how to shadow their eyes and do their eyebrows and stuff.
Yep, that was oh my God, who was that? I can't remember what his name was now. Azazel.
I always want to say Azazel.
I want to. It's not funny, but like it's interesting about Azazel. He does everything but mingle with the women, like all the other fallen angels did, and that was the part that really pissed God off. If you read the book, and he got the worst punishment. I find that interesting.
Maybe he was gay.
Maybe. Well, I don't. Well, I mean, you go to Sodom and Gomorrah, the guys were fucking angels. So I don't know.
If you think about it, having interaction with women is one thing, but when you teach them all this secret knowledge or knowledge
I think that's what kind of ticked the old man off. Yeah.
Corrupt us that way, not just physically, but mentally, spiritually.
Yeah, because he didn't even make it to the flood or anything. He just got put in the desert. And he's surrounded by a bunch of sharded rocks. And if you go, I forget, it's either in Iraq or Afghanistan, in the middle of a desert, there's a circle formation of like 15 jagged rocks. Go figure. Go figure, And then the most ancient part of the world, it's like in some Sudan fucking desert shit. It's just a circle of just sharded stones that are clearly go down very far if they're that stable in the desert sand. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Interesting stuff, and the Bible is just a story. I hate people that say that. Oh, it's just a story. You don't actually believe that, do you? I'm like, you don't actually believe we're spinning out a ball in outer space, on a water effing water ball, like water jet. Like, what are you talking about? You feel yourself moving right now? You pour yourself a glass of water, tilt the glass sideways. It's still level. It's still level.
Steve,
and water.
I'm glad you brought up Flat Earth, bro. Because did you guys see Wits It Gets It? You guys watch him?
No,
bro. He was just on Rose. You guys watch Rose? No.
777.
I know who you're talking about.
He was just on Rose like a couple days ago.
Oh, I must have missed that one. Was it a good one? Yeah.
And I watched the Flat Earth debate he just did, I guess yesterday, but he posted it on his channel today. Bro, that dude is like official. Like, he's real, and he keeps his patience with like this guy that he was debating was unbelievably uneducated. He had no idea. He's
probably going out of his mind too, huh?
What's it gets it?
No, he was probably going out of his mind. The other dude who didn't know nothing about even what he was talking about, probably like, like getting all trolly.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, bro. Like he was just proved wrong. Oh, it was so funny though. Jen, did you watch it or no?
I didn't get to watch it, but I know it was on another name that you're talking about.
Yo, so there's a part in it, and he's showing footage. He's showing actual footage of proof of the globe from like a weather balloon or some shit, right? Mm-hmm. And Wits It Gets It's telling him, he's like, yo, but what kind of lens are they using? Because obviously saying this is a fisheye lens. Everybody knows that, Yeah. So while the dude is playing the video, it goes concave.
Yeah.
It completely flips. And like, he's still...
Don't see it, yeah.
He still doubled down, and he was like, well, I can explain that. Really? Like, your own video just proved that it was a fisheye lens that you're trying to use for proof. And he was just like, oh, I was a photographer for blah, blah, blah. And it's all about the shutter speed. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro?
Yeah, it destroys itself, the whole concept. It's fisheye lens when you see that curve and then it goes boom, 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 gets all wonky. It's a
Everybody knows
side effect of a fisheye lens.
Everybody knows this.
Yeah. 101 flat Earth.
I just love the people that are like, what's the difference? Flat, round. I still gotta go to work tomorrow. I'm like, that could change. If you
Yeah, but you can go to work with the feeling that you know for a fact there is a creator.
that's the other part of it
That's
too.
a
That's
big
the flip side of
difference
that
going
coin.
to work thinking they're not knowing versus now I know there's a creator. That changes your entire life.
Right. There's more to life than putting a book on a shelf for 30 years if you're a librarian. You can be like, wow, I'm here for a reason. Maybe I'm not here to just put this book on a shelf and punch it out and tell people they're late. Maybe I'm here for a different reason, to get knowledge from these books. Like if you love something, there's probably something in there that you can express better than other people,
Yeah, dude, it goes way beyond like, I mean, first of all, we don't need to answer the question why they lied about it. That doesn't matter,
There's so many.
It doesn't matter. Like, there's probably a lot of reasons why. That's not the point. But yeah, I think flat Earth isn't about it's not about whether the Earth is flat or not. That doesn't matter. That does not directly affect you if the Earth is flat or a globe. But you have to look at the deeper implications. Then you have to think, oh, if it's flat with a dome around it and we're the center, first of all, we're the most important things in the so-called universe. First of all, we're not a speck of dust floating in the vast expanding universe, And second, if it is created like this, there obviously must be a creator of this world. Mm-hmm. So how is it not important?
Exactly.
You want proof that the creator exists? Here it is. The Earth is flat with a dome around it. There you go.
Simple as that. Because you don't have to get into all the other details. Because I used to love flat Earth. Like that was like pretty much the only thing I talked about. Then I started seeing everyone arguing about what kind of dome it is, how high, how far away is the sun, how many ice walls is there land, are they hiding land before the ice, this, that. I'm just like, okay, I'm like, you guys are getting lost in the sauce over here. Like, you got to relax and understand that we can all agree on a baseline. Mm-hmm. You can all go over here and over there, but you have to understand we have to still agree on the baseline, because people would get upset with each other and why are you still watching his videos? I'm like, you know what, y'all are weird, I'm walking away for a little bit. And I did, and I came back and made different videos. And it's funny, you go off the topic board for 1 minute and your videos go from 15,000 a view to like 600. It's funny how that happens. But
yeah.
What I always tell people too, bro, is first of all, I don't ever like to refer to myself as a flat earther at all, because that is irresponsible to me to act just like them and say that I can prove that this model is correct. I don't have all the information. What I do have information and can prove, because I live my life based on facts, not like theories and bullshit, So what I can prove is that we do not live on a spinning ball. I cannot prove we live on a flat Earth with a dome around it. I can't. I have a lot of evidence that supports that, yes. So I do believe that. I cannot prove it at this moment, but I can absolutely shatter the globe. Absolutely.
Shatter.
Shatter it with like 2 sentences. It's so easy.
Water finds its level, period. There's that.
I mean, a vacuum can't be next to a fucking area of pressure without a container. I mean, that's called a law. Like, everybody listen to the difference between a theory and a law. A law is fact. It's provable. It's repetitive. Like, fucking, it's a fact. That's why it's called a law. And that's why gravity is still a theory, because nobody can repeat it. Nobody can show it. Nobody can even explain it, dude. Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous.
Most of our reality is based on theories. You have a whole thing of theoretical physics. People base their whole careers on theoretical physics. What I like to imagine is, okay, so we have this gravity thing and atmosphere, and we're, spinning around the sun, and we're trailing the sun around the galaxy is what they tell us. But if there was a great flood and all that water shifted around their ball globe as we're spinning and hurtling all the way over around the fucking universe, something would happen there. Okay. They just seem to have their cake and eat it all the time, and it just doesn't work out. Like you said, the atmosphere and the vacuum. You can't have both. You can't have these rocket ships up in space when you can't have rockets in a vacuum.
Dude, and like the moon and the sun. Okay, I don't know how I can be much clearer on how ridiculous it is that if like the Big Bang happened and everything just exploded and is ever expanding, we just ended up coincidentally with the biggest coincidence of all time in history, that the sun is 400 times larger than the moon, and also 400.
That's my favorite. I love that one.
Are you kidding me? So either if you believe that, I pray for you, first of all. But the only way to explain that is then you would have to believe that the moon is like the Death Star, and it was created by a civilization that's super advanced and did those calculations.
Rabbit holes.
Right. The moon would have had to be built based on the sun's position. So the moon would have to be fake.
I've gone down that rabbit hole. I've gone down the whole hollow moon, and somebody built this thing, put it in place, Death Star. I went down all these rabbit holes. And
I've gone down them all. Absolutely.
Yeah. The History Channel does a great job of bringing you down there anyway.
With Germans, okay? Germans are living all up inside there.
Oh, Hitler's up there. He just gave me a phone call with no delay, actually.
Yeah.
But dude, what's crazy is these ball earthers, they have no idea what their own model is at all.
Yeah, and the other thing is that the only thing that's not spinning in their space is the moon. The moon doesn't spin, but yet everything else, including us, are spinning. All
Right.
On and off.
It doesn't rotate. It doesn't spin.
Jen, they want to use that same argument against us. Oh, you're telling me the Earth is flat, but everything around us is a sphere? Well, you just told me that the moon doesn't spin, but every single thing in the universe spins. Yeah. So, like, this logic is.
They want it both ways again. They always want to have it both ways, you know? They get, and the thing about getting theories mixed up with reality, I mean, we're basically living one big fucking theory, clearly. And it's all a lie.
But yeah, like, I don't even like, I don't really talk about flat Earth too much. It's not really the whole premise of the only important thing, like I said, is the proof of the creator. That's it. I don't even need to like talk to people about flat Earth anymore. Nothing. Because honestly, I'm sure you guys know it's 99.9% a complete waste of time. You can tell within the first couple of sentences, like within the first 30 seconds of trying to talk to someone about flat Earth, if they're going to pick it up or not.
I was having really good responses right before this whole COVIDiot cult thing happened. I was really making some headway.
Yeah. November, October, it went downhill for these people mentally. I don't know what happened then.
Yeah, dude, something happened
right over the holidays, and then COVID hit, and now they're like, nurses are warriors. You need a mask, and Bill Gates is my best friend. It's like, and Donald Trump's gonna drain the swamp.
And Jesus Church is closed. They closed down Jesus. And people let this happen over a lie.
Hey, so do you think? So here's what I've been thinking about this whole thing, because especially the COVID thing. Like when I looked at flat Earth, I was like, this is so obvious. This is going to be really easy to get people to wake up to this. It wasn't.
Yeah, you would think.
But then the Mandela effect happened, and then I was like, yo, this is even more obvious. I'm going to get people to wake up from the Mandela effect. Didn't happen. And then COVID happened, and I'm like, this is so obvious.
Yeah, so obvious. This is what I'm saying.
No one gets it.
No one.
So I gotta start thinking like these
people are starting to get it though a little bit. I'm sorry, but people are starting.
Pieces.
Pieces.
No.
Yes.
People,
And another thing I want to point out, if anybody ever said to you, oh, like 9/11, how could they, you know how many people would have to be in on it? How could they keep that quiet? Look at what's going on right now. Look at the lies that they're pumping out across the board, that people actually think that this is happening, even though they're sitting in in a hospital where they work and nothing's going on. But the news, tell lies to your vision's telling them it's happening over here in this town or over there in that town. It's just not, and nobody's got to be in on it on ground level, but yet it's happening.
I was gonna say, I bet there's probably like 1,000 people around the whole world that are in on this right now, and like 98% of the media right now are just going off of like, oh my God, they said this, we got to report that. They're not even looking into it, so it's not like they're in on it, but they're just consenting their free will and their common sense thinking away to just reporting what they see. They get called out on that all the time, but not in this situation.
People
Not
in
at
hospitals
all.
are getting paid all this extra money, or they're getting furloughed out and getting laid off and getting paid extra money. Nobody
Right.
really knows what's going on anywhere, but they've just all tuned into the Tell Lies to Your Vision where they're spell casted on. And nobody has to be in on it except for that media and above. They own the media. So that's where they work all their magic through. And everybody's got a TV or some sort of social media outlet where they pick up everything, every little thing that's going on. Every time I turn on YouTube, I get, Fox latest fucking COVID-19 crap. And I don't even click on none of that stuff. Why would it be recommended to me? But everybody's getting it across the board. It's the fucking latest thing that everybody needs to have in the forefront of their brain the minute they open their eyes. COVID, oh my God.
Right.
Yeah.
It's somehow recommended for all of us, even though there's no one working at YouTube right now because they just let out that little thing in our creator studio. Due to COVID, we're having less people working and more robots working, so more of your videos might go missing. Like, how does that add up? But,
Don't get me wrong, though. I do wake a lot of people up. I plant a lot of seeds.
That's what I do. I'm a seed planter.
Yeah,
I'm a mean seed planter. I'm a mean
I am too, bro.
Yeah, good.
If I plant a seed, it's gonna be a hardcore seed, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna get
do something that you're gonna be like, oh, that's interesting. You're gonna be like, there's no way that I want the reaction to be, there is no way that's true. I'm gonna look that up. Good. That's what I want. I want to say something so ridiculous that you're like, dude, there's no way that's happening. Like the HR 6666. Or like the mark of the beast. I explained to them the book of Revelations, how you're gonna have to take a fucking microchip or something injected into your body, blah blah blah, to buy things and blah 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 in the Bible. And I broke down like everything that like Bill Gates's patent 2020666006. Like you guys know all this stuff. The Luciferese. I hit people with all of those things.
What a name.
And like I'm so fluent with all this shit now because I research it so constantly. Like I want, like when I'm talking about something like this, I want to be 100% factual. So and I want to be able to spit knowledge like immediately within like 30 seconds. I want to drop so many seeds, bro, that one of them is absolutely gonna grow.
Yeah,
100%.
I'm the same way. I've been in this since 2005 doing research, and for the first couple of years, I wasn't able to do that because I didn't have it all memorized and spit it out, but I've honed my skills there. I used to be just like you. I'd be like rapid fire, boom, 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 boom. Something's gonna stick at some point, and then I realized I'm gonna blow people's heads up around here because they're all fucking inbred or something's going on. I don't know in Alabama, but I have to say little things like these two ladies I saw at Walmart, and I know them, and I said, you wear this thing all day. I said, don't you know? Did they tell you about hypoxia? And she's like, what? What's that? And I'm like, ladies, I said, you have one of these in your hand all day long.
And we're uneducated.
I said, you should know what hypoxia is, and you should know that you're smothering yourself all day long. She's like, yeah, my lungs hurt and all this stuff. I can't breathe. And she's like, but we got to wear them. I'm like, no, you don't got to wear them. And I showed them the picture of the PDF for the HIPAA laws and stuff. And, I just planted that and left that in their laps and left them alone. And, but they're getting to the point now in these work environments where they're mandatory to wear them just to work in their store, not to wear it to get into the store to shop, but just to work there. They have to wear them. And they're starting to get, pissy about it. And every time I see somebody, I'm like, what are you doing with this scarf wrapped around your? And this one girl had a scarf wrapped around her head twice, up covering her nose, standing there out 80 degrees out, gorgeous day. And she's sitting there huffing her fucking own CO2 all fucking day.
Dude, let's talk about masks for a second, because all right, so I work at Lowe's. I'm sure you got, like, everybody pretty much knows that. I work at Lowe's, dude, and I move heavy shit like all day, man. Like, because
Lowe's is no joke. I know, I shop there all the time. It's no joke buying shit there. Never mind stocking it all.
Yeah, and like I wasn't even. I'm a salesperson, bro. I've been a salesperson like for 18 years, bro. But now I'm having to do like way different shit right now because we're so fucking busy, bro. It's crazy. So
I know.
there's a lot of there's like a lot of older women, older guys that are like 60, 70 years old that work in there, and I'm in pretty good shape. I get asked to do everything that involves like strenuous physical labor, dude, because I'm like the only one that can do it. And what's crazy, bro, is I am required to wear a mask for my entire shift. I literally will get fired if, like, the Board of Health was just at my Lowe's and fined us a few $100s because someone wasn't wearing the mask properly. I was wearing my mask just under my nose like this because I couldn't breathe because I was like moving a bunch of cinder blocks and shit. And I had to have my mask over my nose and my mouth.
What gets me, Swedes, is these motherfuckers know that this is not good for people to wear this shit all day long doing hard labor or activities and stuff. They know this shit, yet they're going to send out fucking, I don't know, robotic retards to enforce this shit. Because even the people who are enforcing it, either they're lovers and suckers of Satan's cock, and they just want to come out and slap fines on people and get off on seeing people straining to breathe while they're lifting heavy stuff all day long. I mean, you got to be a complete and utter fucking moron. These are the people who are laying down our legislation and writing the laws and mandates and orders and requirements and all this shit. When are people going to wake the fuck up? I just
like Jen, it's crazy because I mean, I was just reading about some dude that died while jogging with a mask on, and like
there was two kids in China that died on the fucking not at the same time. One 14 going on 15, the other one was 15. Died running track, physical ed at school because they're fucking huffing. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, this is like.
Dude, I almost black out all the time. Like, I've only had to wear my mask over my face for 2 days now because for about a few weeks I was getting away with just wearing it around my chin because my manager doesn't give a shit about the mask. She knows it's bullshit. She's a smart lady. I mean, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure this shit out, dude. You just gotta like read a couple of medical papers. I mean. It's really obvious.
I'm sending you, Steve, a message with that HIPAA law paper in there, and Swedes can maybe screenshot it or get it, or we can send it to him too. But I want everybody to see it. You're not required to wear a mask if you have a health issue. And clearly, if you're smothering yourself all fucking day, you have a health issue. I'd be like, I ain't wearing no mask.
Yeah, but that was why I was like,
they can't fire you. They cannot fire you. You will own their asses.
I agree.
Right at a place like Lowe's, yeah. But this thing only works for publicly traded corporations. Like if you're at like mom and pop shop and you show them this, they could tell you to go fuck yourself, pretty much.
You worked at Lowe's.
No, right. But I'm just saying, if someone pulls this card off at like like a FL Roberts gas station or some stupid shit like that, they could just like give you the bird and be like, go to some other gas station, loser. But if you go to Cumberland Farms, you might get a good buck.
I showed this to the two ladies. I sent it to them, and I'll show it if I ever need to. I haven't needed to yet, but if I was you, Sweeze, I would be like,
Yeah. See, I called this number and it didn't really give me too much information. The guy was nice. He just didn't give me too much information. It sucked. But.
Right.
I mean, I'm gonna sound like a normie right now, but I do get away with not wearing my mask quite a bit during the day, and I'm getting paid quite well now, so I'm all right for now.
Oh, you're good, bro. I'm living off the bullshit state money. Like, I'm making just as much as I was before. I'm like,
But Steve,
okay.
Steve, I have not been quiet though at work. I've been following the rules to a point to like, you know, keep my job, but like
You
one
let
of
them
my-
know your opinion, though.
oh dude, one of my
That's what
managers
I've done everywhere. They hate that, but it's good, though. It's good.
yeah, dude, one of my managers, he saw me with my mask under my nose like this, and it was right in the middle of the store, bro. And like in the middle of the day, and he was like, dude, if I see you with your mask on your face like that again, I'm gonna have to fire you. And I was like, let's talk about these masks for a second. And like right in the middle of the store. And I just hit him with facts on facts on facts on facts, and he couldn't argue with anything. And then he goes, yeah, but and I talked about how the masks literally don't help against the virus. It's like it's like I used it's like trying to stop a mosquito swarm with a chain link fence. Like you might stop like 2 of them out of 1,000, but what about those 998, bro? So like, what's the point? What's the point? So I was like, they're proven to be horrible for the human body, and they are also proven to not help. I don't know how I need to explain this more, you know? And he goes right away, he's like, yeah, but the masks aren't really for you, they're for the other people. And I'm like, dude,
it doesn't matter.
Anything? It doesn't matter which side of the chain link fence you're on.
Wrong with people fucking
Healthy people shouldn't need to wear masks. Healthy people shouldn't be quarantined. It doesn't make sense. Quarantine the fucking sick people. That's how it works. Remember that movie Quarantine in like 2004? What did happen? Everyone got sick, and what do? They quarantine the building, and then they just walked away from it for a little while. That's what happens. You quarantine a place. You don't quarantine a fucking city of healthy people. When 6 people die or are sick or got hit by a bus and they said, oh, COVID got them, you know, ridiculous.
Yo, and Steve, today, because this was a few days ago when we had the mask interaction, you know? So, and I was very loud in the store, bro. I made sure everyone heard me about this mask, bro. Like you could absolutely tell customers were turning around and listening, and he looks stupid. I'm not gonna lie. Like that wasn't my intention. Like it really wasn't planned at all. I was just like, are you kidding me? The way I started the conversation, I said, okay, so this is now a decision between my job and my health. Is that correct? And he said, no, I didn't say that. I said, yes, you did. That is what you're saying. I have to choose between my own health and my job. And then I said, let me break it down for you.
He probably froze up like.
And the fact that he doesn't see it, he can't even comprehend what he's actually even saying and what he's asking you to do because he's following orders from his above. Everybody needs to stop worrying about being that one nail that sticks up that's going to get hammered down. We all need to stand up. They can't hammer us all down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what's crazy though is now every day since then he's been like extra nice to me, and he's just been going out of his way to just be like, "Hey, Brian." Oh, that's my name, by the way.
Brian Sweeze.
I know that.
Brian Sweeze Benavides. Yes, Sweeze is my real middle name, everybody.
Really?
Who knows? Who knows?
Maybe.
This comment here on the screen, I think, is interesting. The contact tracing is going to bring the U.S. of A. Incorporated corporation, because it obviously is, into Germany all over again. And something I want to comment on that real quick is for anyone watching this, or if you're going to share this, anyone here with an iPhone, the new iPhone 13.5 iOS update comes with the contact tracing program installed against your will, but you consenting and saying install brings it into your phone. And since then, I've had so many issues with my phone. It turned off and didn't turn on the other day. YouTube stopped working today for like 6 or 7 hours.
Yep.
Ridiculous.
I don't have an iPhone. They're trouble. I don't trust iPhone.
I have an Android. I've always had Androids.
Dude,
I don't like Android ever since the commercial.
Yeah, but I don't
It's
have
a bad commercial.
Dude, Apple does a lot of weird shit, man. Apple
Oh,
doesn't.
they're all bad. Look at Bill Gates, Uncle Billy, with his because it's not just 2020. It's the WO. You could turn the W on the side, get you a 3. The O is a 0, no numerology value. 322666. So it's literally that's what they do, you know. And you go to what's that, Yale, the 322 Skull and Bones people. They are the leading college on third strand DNA, golden strand DNA technology or research. Just to throw that out there for a coincidence for the shelf that broke a long time ago.
Yeah. Remember that movie, The Skulls, with Paul Walker? It was from 1997. It's called The Skulls. It's all about Yale and this and the
Yeah.
I just watched it yesterday. It's from 1997. It's called The Skulls, and look up Paul Walker. You'll get it. So anyway, the one part he says, "Oh, for our 322 members," and I'm like, 322.
What?
You know what I just watched? For the first time ever?
What?
They Live.
Get out. Oh my God.
I've never seen it. And I've seen like every movie in the world.
Wow.
Oh, Roddy Piper.
It was amazing. I loved it.
The fight scene. The fight scene is what we go through to try to wake people up. That I totally resonate with.
Every single day.
Yeah.
I deal with all
I couldn't figure out why the fight scene was so intense and so drawn out. I just was like, oh
now
God.
You get it.
But now, years later, I get it. I'm like, that's so me fighting with people. Just like, it's just a tug of war, even if it's just words. And we're not, although I would like to hit them and slam their head into a wall and be like, wake the fuck up as I'm knocking them out. But
I know. The one scene from that movie I deal with all the time is the newsstand one where the guy's just looking at you like this and you're looking at him like, oh shit, like I deal with that all the time. I'm like, what is this guy thinking? He's probably looking at me like, what's wrong with this kid? I'm like, you're a 0 and I'm a 1, fella. Like that's the simplest way to break this down. Like,
you're like, we got one that can see.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about, man, is so like there must be something about everyone else that's like blocking them. But it's like, it's not that they're stupid. It's just literally that they have a block on all of these things. It's like there was some sort of, I'm thinking about maybe like the chemtrails. Maybe they've been spraying something that gets into some people's bodies and then they activated it. And it blocks some sort of thing in your brain.
Logical thinking, critical thinking, that's what it blocked. And then they watch to tell lies to your vision. I mean, I haven't watched TV in 15 years. I'm not subjected to commercials, all these, flashing fucking beta crap and musical tones and all this crap that they use, trauma-based mind control. But yeah, they're definitely programmed, and all that adds into it too. The fast foods, the junky foods that they're eating, everything. The American people and the people across the plain pretty much who live like Western civilization does here with fast foods and all this crap are primed and ready for this bullshit.
Oh, dude, I just remembered this like stat too that I've been telling people and shit. That kind of wakes people up a little bit, I think. So in the United States, it's really not that bad compared to a lot of other countries. So let's look at how ridiculous this quarantine is in other countries, such as India. You guys probably have heard this, but there's 1.3 billion people in India, and there's 1,000 COVID cases. I don't even know
it down. Lock it down, baby.
I don't even think it's 1,000 deaths. It might just be cases.
There's no way to social distance that amount of people, and in these towns like Nepal and all this stuff like that, where they're piling on the trains, they're getting on the roofs of the trains and stuff, riding these trains to the next towns and stuff to do work or whatever they're doing. Have you seen their river system? They're immune to everything over there, those people.
I'm just saying, there's so many people in India. Like, you would think if a pandemic came out of China, like it would have devastated there first and worked its way over to India through the Nepal mountains and whatnot. And, if people in the beginning, in the middle of this pandemic, they were saying that
this was a sign from God, this, that, and the other thing. God sent this on us or whatever. And if that was the case, if God sent a pandemic, a mask wouldn't help you. You would know it. You wouldn't be able to hide. 6 feet of distance wouldn't do nothing. Maybe if there was a real pandemic sent from a fucking bug or whatever, you know, like 6 feet of distance, what's that going to do? What's that going to do?
This 6 foot thing. Some kid thought of it.
It's some ridiculous. Is it really? I wouldn't doubt it.
I just found this out. Like my mom told me, she's like, "Do you know where the social distancing idea came from?" They were putting up ideas and stuff of how we could help this situation, and they picked some kid's idea of 6 feet social distance thing.
Yeah, I highly doubt that. But I'm not saying your aunt's wrong. I'm just saying that it's just ridiculous. They're just throwing that out there to get us all fired up.
No, it makes sense to me in a way because if you watch Equilibrium, the kids were the finger pointers in that movie. They were turning in everybody who wasn't dosing. In that movie. So it was like the kids were the adults. Like they'd be like, "What are you doing? You're not supposed to do that. I'm going to turn you in," and all this stuff. Like they're taking children and making them like these little adults that, you know, think and act just like adults do, but yet they're children. They're small people. That's all they are. And then that goes back to the pedophilia and all the things that we've been seeing over the last 5 to 7 years with the tranny kids and stuff. It all plays into all this.
Absolutely. And I just want to punch back on what you said there before, Squeeze. A lot of what's happening right now well, first of all, how did you do in school?
I graduated with a 3.9 GPA in 5th in my class in high school. I had a 4.0 in college before I dropped out after 1 year. Nice. So very well in school. I also only went to school 50 days my senior year, 60 days my junior year, and 80 days my sophomore year.
Oh, so you didn't go. Okay, I got it.
Never went.
Just like me. Yeah, never went. And I feel like that's why, because all these kids that I know my age, they're all fucked because they went to school for so goddamn long. You know what I'm saying? And they subjected themselves to that indoctrination and watching the movies and the books and all this other fake history and all these fake stats and all this other traumatizing stuff and events. And you go to the auditorium, go watch a 9/11 memorial, all that great stuff to get you all effed up as a kid. We missed out on a lot of that because we first of all, like, you weren't there. I wasn't there a lot of the time. You said you got good grades. I quite didn't. Even when I was in class, I kind of gave them the bird anyways and just walked around the hallway. So I was never really subjected to this like indoctrination system. So when I first stumbled upon like flat earth, chemtrails, you name it, I never had that like, what are you talking about? That like knee-jerk reaction. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. I'm like, because those guys were kind of stupid back in high school. I'm like, flat, motionless. I'm looking up. I'm like, the sun, the moon. I'm like 200,000 miles away. I don't think so. I'm like 400 times the size. I don't think so. These look rather small and local. And you do some research and you come to your own conclusions. And it's, it's kind of easy to unplug from the machine that you weren't plugged into fully anyways, So I feel like I have more success with people who like kind of hung out with me in high school who just, we were all just doing, bad things, smoking weed, pretty much skipping class. But a lot of those kids, they kind of get it now. And it's all the kids that were there every day that, had A's and B's and 4.0s and scholarships that are either A, part of this whole event in the med field, or B, just like completely just like, I love my mask, quarantine, Donald Trump, you name it. I'm just like, what's wrong with you people?
See, Steve, like about school, like, so any one of us three, and probably many people in the chat, any one of us could have graduated high school and college and shit, like with a high 3.8 or whatever, but you have to care as well. And
that's the difference. I didn't care about it.
I never went to school. I found a loophole where that's a longer story, but I found a loophole where I didn't have to go to school. I just went to work instead of school. And I really didn't go to work either. I just faked that and just stayed at home and chilled. And just showed up for tests. And that's how I did high school. But I cared about my grades. I did a lot because I devoted like my whole life to baseball at the time, and like I wanted all these scholarships, which I did get, like based on grades in baseball and shit. And like I was really focused on getting good grades. I just didn't want to go to school to do it. So I figured out a way to get both. But Steve, if you cared about it, you would have gotten a 3.9, 4.0. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. The test, I always got like 80s and 90s. I just didn't do the homework. And unfortunately, at my school, homework was 40% of the grade. Imagine that. So I got literally a 62 in every class.
Yeah, dude. So I was a researcher even back then. I just didn't even know. So I researched the shit out of school guidelines and policies, and I figured out every single loophole to get through high school. It was amazing. So, but that's beside the point. What I'm saying is people need to realize that I've been in this community quite a few years now, you know, and I can honestly tell you that every single person that is a truther is extremely intelligent. We don't have dumb people, dude. We just don't. Period. I don't care what grades you got in school, because school does not matter, dude. I know how smart people are based on interactions with people and how they present themselves and how they articulate themselves and what they talk about and their ideas. I can tell if you're a dumbass or not. And I can tell you 99% of the dumbasses are on the side of the fucking globe believers and the Mandela deniers and the fucking people with masks and shit. Like, these are the dumb people. We are the intelligent, enlightened beings, dude.
You know what the best part is for me too? I look at everyone in our community and everyone I watch. I'm like, wow, it's a great thing I'm part of this, because I'm probably the dumbest one of all of them. And yet these guys are out of control smart. So I know what you're saying. I'm not saying that I'm like retarded or anything, but I mean, compared to some of these people who've been researching for years and years and years and have so much knowledge and research, I'm just like, wow. I'm like, this whole, like, I'm like, for me to be the weakest link, I love it, because everyone above me is just like a sensei in some other part of the spectrum, you know, which is great. I like to be well-rounded, which takes a lot longer to understand everything, but it's quite an interesting journey, you know. It's you got to start somewhere, you know. But
how boring would it be to just like be one of these robots, bro? Like, I think it's so interesting to live in a time period this crazy, bro. Like, everything is happening. Like, we're not here for no reason. Like, I'm sent here at this specific time at 33 years old, guys.
Oh wow.
Ooh.
Interesting.
The scary 33.
Yeah.
I was 33 once.
And my birthday is 33 too. It's 3/12. It's March 12th.
Really? Wow.
Well, happy birthday.
All muffed up, as Jen would say.
All muffed up.
I mean, I don't look into like gematria and like all that too much. I mean, it's interesting, but it's never going to be a proof of something. It's just, that's more of like added sprinkles on things, you know?
Absolutely. Like when people's names add up to 201 who were involved with event 201, how could I not make a video? You know what I'm saying? How could I not make a video? Especially when it's Johns Hopkins University with the S. Without the S, it's not 201, it's 198. It's so crazy. So the new S makes it fucking, and this is not a gun, it's a torch, by the way, for the viewers. I know you know, but
bro, I am totally on the other side on this Johns Hopkins thing. I think I'm like the only one, bro. I am so positive. I will bet my life on it that it was always Johns Hopkins, because I would always ask myself, because I question everything. And I always ask myself, is his name John Hopkins? Or like, why is he calling him, like, why is John a multiple? Like, why is it plural?
So it switched for you a while ago. That was like South America with me. I noticed South America changed in 2000. Oh, no, it wasn't always for me, because I didn't realize it, because I was like, what's going on? It was like 2000, like fucking, I don't even know, like 7. And it was New Year's Eve, and they're doing the ball drop, and it's like 7:30 where we are in Massachusetts, and they're like, oh, ball drop in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. I'm like, they're right below us. I'm like, what's going on? And like, even the girl who was like a an IP or not, or I don't even know what they call them, like the advanced set in high school. She was taking those classes, the babysitter at the time, and she had no explanation. We went to a globe and she's like, what is going on here? So that changed for me a long time ago, which is interesting. But for you, that must have changed a long time ago. I used to do a lot of like sports betting. And even like the little conferences, I'd always put like a little like $5, $10, $15 bet in. And John Hopkins would always be there. It'd be John it was just weird. But then it switched and then
What?
And then yeah, John Hopkins University. Yeah.
Oh, the university, right. Dude, why are you betting on games with Johns Hopkins University? They're terrible.
Oh no, just like I'm like like a little AUU, like whatever they're called, the brackets or whatever, like the AAU championship series or whatever. This is like 3 or 4 years. It's a whole different person.
I forgive you. So let me ask you this then. So then, like, first of all, my favorite topic is the Mandela. What's that?
It's a little gelato.
Ooh, that's a great flavor. That's awesome.
Yeah. But keep going. I love the Mandela. Keep going.
Oh, okay. So I think Mandela effect is absolutely 100% the most important thing. And what I love about the Mandela effect, it's like flat Earth. You can only take it so far, and then it's like, okay, I know all this stuff. Now what? So I can't even look into flat Earth anymore. It's boring to me. I'm like, I already know all this shit, you know?
Same. Mandela changes like every day.
And I don't mean because there's new Mandela effects every day. What I mean is we do not have the answers. And it always makes me think so deep. So like Steve, I can like pretty much prove right now, because I know for a fact that it was Johns Hopkins for me for my entire life, since I can remember, 100%. I have vivid memories of me getting absolutely frustrated because I did not know, like, are there two John Hopkins? Are they like father and son? Is it like a father and son band?
The Johns Hopkins.
The Johns Hopkins? Like, what's going on here? So I always it was something that really just pissed me off like my whole life. So now that people are just saying it was normal, like if it was always John Hopkins, I wouldn't even know of that university at all, to be honest with you. The only reason why I know about Johns Hopkins University is because it has a weird fucking name. It's called Johns Hopkins. I've always known about this fucking university. So this proves that we are definitely experiencing different realities. Absolutely. At the same time, simultaneously experiencing different realities. Whoa.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is what it is.
Dilation or something.
So let me ask you this then. We pretty much basically just proved we all know we're living in different realities, right? Okay. So I mean, at least that's what I think. So can we just immediately manifest our own realities and just escape this one we're living in right now? Like if reality is a matter of perception, can't we just change our individual realities?
You would think.
To an extent, like honestly, it sounds weird, but I can look at people and tell them what to say sometimes. So I don't know what to make of that. So I can make stuff like that happen. Or I'll think of someone and they'll just walk through the door or they'll give me a phone call. I don't know what that's about, but as far as just going in like a deep meditation state or something and just like manifesting my own world, like a giant field, that would be intense. That'd be incredible. But I don't think we're quite there yet. I feel like once we evolve and go upstairs to the kingdom, if we're granted, if we're deemed worthy to partake in that, which would be awesome. I feel like something like that could be like a regular Tuesday or something, like, oh, everyone go to your whatever and boom, your own universe. Like we're human beings, what an angel can do, what people upstairs can do, what God can do, can only imagine, can only imagine.
Well, let me tell you a little anecdote, Stephen. I don't even know if Steve is short for Steven. Is it always or
It
sometimes?
is.
Is it always?
Well, I don't know. It is today. My real name is Steven with a PH.
Is it legal to name a baby Steve?
I think so.
Baby, whatever you want to name it.
No, because you can't name a baby Bob. It has to be named like Robert or Bobby or something. I'm pretty sure that's a law. Look into it. But Steve, let me tell you about this. Like 2 weeks ago, well, like 3 weeks ago, I was working, and literally for like 2 straight days, just everyone was just a complete douchebag to me. Like all the employees were just bitching all day. Every single customer that walked up to me was a complete asshole for no reason. And this was for 2 days straight. But I also realized that I was like not really feeling very well. I was kind of sick. And I was like really tired. I didn't get like too much sleep the night before, you know? So my personal attitude and energy was not where it usually is. So after that second day, it was a Friday and a Saturday that would just, I wanted to fucking quit my job after that Saturday. You know, I was like, I can't even fucking mentally handle this. So I listened to I like Landria Anka. Have you listened to her? She's like a like a channeler, kind of, sort of. She's just interesting. But I listen to people.
Send me a link on Facebook. That sounds interesting. Like
yeah,
later.
Sure. She's really cool. She's I forget the other, like there's been a few, but anyway, just enlightening people. And I just wanted to I needed to just zone out and listen to like enlighten people and just get my spirit like back and just start again. You know? So because what I realized is that there's no possible way that every single customer and every interaction that they were all just having a bad day. They were just being assholes for no reason. No, all of that was me attracting that. So I had to realize that until you realize you're attracting your reality, you can't change it. So that night I listened to a bunch of, you know, videos that just got me back to like where I needed to be. I meditated for a while, like half an hour, 45 minutes, and just went back to square one, bro. And I just am absolutely 100%, no matter what, I am positive every fucking second, because I have to believe that I'm energy and everything around me is energy, and I'm going to attract whatever energy I put off. So of course I'm going to be positive in any situation. And there is no positive or negative. It's all a matter of your perception. So as long as you think of everything as positive, then it is instantly. So once I flipped that switch, Steve, I went back to work the next day, and immediately everyone was unbelievably pleasant with me. Unbelievably. Like it was like a switch, man. Everything was fucking gravy. It was amazing. And I had to, it has to be me. That's the factor. That's the variable. And I haven't had a day like that since. Every single day, dude, I'm like literally in my own world, man. Nothing gets me down. Nothing could get me down. Not in this physical world, bro. Why would anything get me down in this physical world?
No, you're 100% right there, bro. 100% right. Like I had two moments like that today. I told you about one when I was lost. I was also lost again, and I was just like, I was beyond the point of like, I was never really mad that I was lost. Why would I ever be mad that I'm lost and in a state with a full tank of gas on a Tuesday afternoon? You know, I'm like, God forbid I'm lost. Oh no, you know. And I'm like looking up. I was sort of like half praying. I'm driving, you know. You can't really like be in a full like on prayer with the Lord while you're driving. But I was just, you know, just talking out loud to him pretty much. I'm like, it'd be great if I knew where I was. And like, I'm really like just the road just turns a little. So I just turned, and then like that sign, welcome to Watley, Mass. I'm like, there you go. I'm like, still have no idea where that is, but at least I know what town I'm in.
Watley? Did you say Watley?
Yeah, something like that.
Yo, that's the name of a town that they give in the middle of fucking nowhere is what it is. Like,
yeah.
When they're like picking towns, like going in order, and they're like, yo, let me get Boston, bro. Like you
That's
have to
big.
be like
That's
you have
big
to
money.
be really far in line. Like the next person's not going to be like, "Yo, let me get Watley. Let me get that Watley, man."
Right, there was nothing. I didn't have cell service. I'm like, I couldn't even get a GPS if I wanted to. I'm like, whatever. I'm like, I'm just gonna keep driving on Route 43. Never heard of this route in my life. In the middle of whatever. And it was like I kept going west. I'm like, I'm gonna eventually end up in New York, I think. And I was decently close at one point, but I didn't ever got that far. I was literally like 20 miles from Brattleboro at one point today. Then I was like probably like 30, 40 miles from New York at one point. I was all over the map.
What the hell are you doing?
I just went for a Tuesday drive. I was gonna smoke a bowl and come back, and I got on the highway and I was like, nah, we'll just do this one cruise I know. And then I ended up taking not the wrong highway because I was gonna go where I wanted to go. I'm like, you know what, we'll just go one more exit and see what happens. I ended up in Sunderland, Mass, and I was like, I've never heard of this place. And
Yeah, I know
honestly, you know, have you been to the observatory on Mount Sugarland? It sounds crazy, right? It is crazy, bro.
I mean, like sober?
Yeah, bro, like dead ass. Where is it?
I mean, if you're talking about an acid trip, then probably. But no, dude, that's a real life thing, huh?
Yeah, bro. Or like here, I'll pause this. Mount Sugarloaf. This is in Sunderland, Mass.
Sugarloaf.
Mount Sugarloaf. And it's
Cool.
up there, man. It's
This is
crazy.
This is a Mandela effect for me, bro. I've never seen Mount Sugarloaf.
Yo, me neither, bro. And I was driving. I'm like, what the fuck is this place? And I just stopped there and I was like, I gotta check this out, dude. And what I found was nuts.
Okay,
It was nuts.
Yo, that's where you were?
Yeah, bro. I'm just up on this giant mountain out of nowhere.
That's an observatory?
You'll see in a second. Let me
Dude, that's dope, man. I want to go out there. So that's like west of you, like even more west?
No, that's north. That's pretty much due north of me.
Okay.
I took off to the west and ended up in New York almost, like on the other side of those fucking mountains. But yeah, like I worked my way all the way up there, but at this time they were like cleaning over there, so I didn't think I could go up there. It was after I shot the videos when I realized you could go up there, and I got some incredible pictures, but I didn't download them yet. But they're on my Facebook. I bet I could go get them on Facebook though, now that I think about it.
Yo, did they open up the courses around you?
The golf courses?
Yeah.
Yeah, finally. I haven't played yet, but they finally did.
I'm going Saturday.
I was thinking about heading out tomorrow, seeing what's going on. I gotta hit the range first, but me and my brother were like, you gotta do 15 minutes in between tee time. So I'm like, that's like 15 minutes in between holes. I'm like, I could drop 3 balls on a fucking hole and just not even keep score for the first couple rounds because we're nice. My brother's real nice. He could shoot par. He could really shoot par. I could shoot like 3 or 4 over on a decent day, but I can get under par on a good day. But he'll just go out and on a bad day shoot like 3 over. I'm like, are you serious, bro? I'm like, that's a bad day for you.
I usually do like I'm either like par or under how many blunts I plan to smoke that day. That's
yeah. Once I start toking, it's all over. If I burn before, we're good. But if someone like brings the hell out on the 10th hole, forget about it. I gotta go get a sandwich.
Oh yeah, dude, sandwiches all day on the course. Yeah. I'm going with my dad, man. It's gonna be cool. We be blading out there.
That would be sick. But yeah, like I said, I was in Sunderland, and just look how like far you could see here, bro. Like I live like on the other side of this mountain right here, and I'm up here in Sunderland, which is like literally like 50 miles away from my house. And this is the Connecticut River. If I hopped in a canoe and went all the way down, I'd end up near my house, ironically. You know, it's just weird
how symmetrical and even that river looks. It almost looks like a canal, like man-made.
It is weird. This river, I think, splits the state of fucking
Is that like
New Hampshire. New Hampshire and Vermont at the base,
Yeah.
at least I know.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, I
Does
thought
it
you
go
were
all the
like,
way up? I always forget.
Oh, forget what?
I always forget. Does it split it all the way up to the top and then curls in?
What, you're talking about the fucking border between
I'm
Vermont?
talking about the river. The river.
Man, I don't know nothing about that river.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I don't give a fuck about that river, Steve. I don't give a fuck about that river.
The goddamn Connecticut River. He don't care.
The only good thing in Connecticut is Foxwoods. That's it.
Nah. Well, yeah. Mohegan sucks. I like Foxwoods.
Mohegan's terrible, dude.
Nah.
Terrible.
Have you tried the new casino near my house? Sucks, bro. MGM Springfield. It's literally the size of, I don't know, like 3 of my houses, and we're like kind of poor, so it sucks.
Dude, I called the MGM in Boston, right? Because there's no
I
way
heard that place is pimping.
Yeah, but bro, I called them up and I was like, yo, I wanted to see how their sports book was, because that's all I do in the casino. I'll play a little poker, a little bit, maybe a little blackjack, but I mostly bet on sports. That's how I win all my money. And they do not even have a sports book. That's ridiculous.
You gotta go to Rhode Island, bro.
But I wanted to see the new MGM, and I want to go see it, Steve. But if you don't have a sports book, and now we don't have any sports, so I guess I'm not going. That's terrible. But yeah, I've been to a bunch of them in Rhode Island for sure.
That's
Like
pretty
recently.
cool. And speaking of sports, actually, they said they're gonna refire up the NBA in like a month or two in empty stadium in Disney. Imagine that.
Yeah,
Wait, can you repeat that? They're gonna do what?
The NBA, they're gonna play out the rest of their season. They're gonna do it in one of 2 locations. One for sure is gonna be at Walt Disney, I believe in Anaheim. You know, Club 33 on the 33rd degree parallel. Those great people. Yeah, imagine that. And as I was like, the whole NBA season this year has been filled with like random characters like Ric Flair and shit. You know, WWF, the scripted fighting and all that stuff. So I was like, this is them showing you they're best friends with Ric Flair, the fake fighter. So these guys are fake NBA players. The NBA's rigged. The easiest way to make money for you, Sweeze, go follow, what's his name there? Zachary K. Hubbard. Go follow him. Get his Patreon for like $4 a month. You want to win money when sports come back? Hit him up. You'll win.
Bro. Steve, I really don't need anyone, man. I've been betting for 20 years now, man. And at 12 years old, I had a bookie that I had to bet at least $100 every bet. I know my shit. And yeah, I kill it in sports betting. Kill it.
So we don't even watch the sports. We just go by the numbers. If you see like a trip, yeah,
bro. I do not like. I mean, I'll watch the games that I'm betting on, but I really just do a little bit of research. Like, not really extensive. I just know what to look for. I look at all the statistics over the last like 20, 30 games, and I do mathematics, and I mathematically fucking just bet on it. I don't do anything with my heart. I don't do anything like that at all. It's just strictly statistics. That's it. Period.
That's it. 'Cause I love the people that are making bets. They're like, oh, I'm betting big on the Patriots. I'm like, why? You're a Patriots fan?
It's all rigged. It's not that hard to figure out the statistics.
Right. That's what I'm telling people. It's ridiculous.
For you.
But then people don't realize there's like a million different ways to bet on a game. Like, people are always like, oh, I bet on the Patriots. Like, did you bet on the Patriots minus the points? Did you parlay it? Did you take the money line? What did you do in this bet?
Did you do all 3?
I mean, you I guess could do that, sure.
You could. You could.
But it's like people go into the sports betting and all they see, the reason why people think everybody loses in sports betting is because 99.9% of the people that bet on sports don't know how to bet on sports. I've been betting on sports since I was 13 years old, and my bookie loved me so much. After a few years, he started teaching me everything about the inside betting sports world. Everything. I know how to bet in every single way. I know how to use statistics, and a lot of games I can bet on both teams and end up winning the fucking bet. So it's like, I can't lose a lot of bets. Statistically, like mathematically, I can't lose. Period. Like,
Yeah, most of the time it's too
mathematics.
easy. Half the time they'll just say it like before the game. They're like, "Oh, LeBron James is gonna win this one big," and then they'll just cut to a commercial. I'm like, "Well, there's that for you, people." Like like if people can't see that the LeBron James and the Lakers are gonna win the next 3 fucking championships, I don't know what to tell them by now. They're gonna three-peat because what's happening right now is literally what happened in the movie Space Jam. And what happened in Space Jam? Michael Jordan came back and he gets his three-peat. What just happened? A lot of people got sick. Some NBA players, they got their powers taken away. They weren't allowed to play for X amount of time. Now they come back and they're gonna come back hype. The only thing they haven't incorporated yet is the aliens, but that's going to happen sooner than later, I think.
That's an interesting. I do like the Space Jam reference, but you are wrong. You are wrong because 2 words: Jason Tatum.
Jason Tatum. Who's at the? I don't watch sports. Is that it's like a Suns guy or something or a Maverick?
Oh my God, Steve! Fucking, he is the next superstar in the league. He's 20 fucking like 2, and he plays for the goddamn Boston Celtics, bro.
Nah, Celtics they might make it to the finals, but no, it's all about King James for the next 3 years because they got to point him out to be just like Mike or better than Mike. That's what they got to do. That's what they're going to do because he sucked this whole season. He's blown balls. It's just like he was absent or maybe retired like Michael Jordan did for that season. Then he came back fucking and won 3 championships in a row. It's all set up to be the same thing.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, sports doesn't interest me anymore. Let's talk about something interesting. What do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about going and getting something to eat because I'm hungry and I'm probably going to be getting out of here soon.
Jennifer hungry.
Yes, Jennifer is hungry.
Yo, you should do what I do and just like eat ice cream and shit on live streams or whatever.
I don't have any ice cream. I don't buy that stuff.
Yo, then eat some chips.
I don't have chips. I don't buy those either.
Or maybe some.
My girlish figure at 50. I can't be eating ice cream. Now I need like real food.
Or
I got some strawberries I'm going to get into.
Oh, dude, no, don't eat strawberries. I just watched a video on strawberries.
What's wrong with strawberries?
Take your strawberries, put them in a bowl with water, and add salt to it, and you're going to see shit crawl out of your strawberries. Not shit, but like these little wormy white things.
Then can I eat them?
I guess once you get the worms out. But yeah, check it out.
I don't eat strawberries. I don't like strawberries.
I like strawberries up until I saw that video and I was like, no way.
Up. Those are so good. What about grapes? They eat grapes still?
Yeah,
those
I don't know. Grapes are good, but look up a video. It's called "You'll Never Eat Strawberries Again" or something.
Great. Yeah,
So
I hate watching videos like that.
Strawberries in water and add salt to it. You don't have to add a lot, all right? Let them, all get in the water and stuff, and then wait a few minutes, and you're going to see these little things start crawling out.
Just water? Just water?
Water and salt. You have to add salt to it.
Man, I don't want to see that.
Yeah, we should bring up a video and show everybody.
Fine. Fine. I'm down to end it like that. Let's see it.
Steve, you'll have to get it up. You have to look up.
I know what is it called?
You'll never eat strawberries again. I saw this yesterday. I was like, no, and I kept looking at everybody else's videos who was doing it, trying to make sure it worked. Because I didn't have any strawberries here to do it myself, but I'm gonna try it.
I kind of want to buy some now.
Yeah, right.
Oh, this is gross.
Yes, dude. That's what I'm saying. Learn something new every day.
Oh, I'm not screen sharing. What the hell? Oh, there it is. You'll never eat strawberries again. I'm not going to turn the audio on. I'm sure we could just witness it all. Your sea salt, strawberries, a little bit of water. Is that what you're talking about?
I don't know what that was.
I look nuts.
Oh. Are you serious? Oh. What?
So you might want to do this to your strawberries before you eat them.
Nah, I'm not even eating them, bro. Are you serious? Is this from like a bad batch or?
I don't know. There's other videos down the side where you see these little white, they almost look like maggots, but they're not, and they're a lot smaller. And it's crazy.
Oh.
Well, I know if you do something with pork, I forget if you put like Coca-Cola, pour Coca-Cola over pork, like a raw piece of pork, you'll see stuff come out of that too, like little worms and stuff.
Oh, that's gross.
Whatever.
Gotta watch what you eat.
This kid's like, I'm going to eat a whole bag of strawberries, you bitches.
I honestly do not eat anything with that texture ever. I love like I take strawberries and like all kinds of shit and I blend it. So I like the taste, but I do not like the texture of anything like that. Oranges, fucking any kind of berry, really.
Oh, dude, what? You don't like blackberries?
Yeah, dude, that absolutely 100%. But I will throw a bunch of blackberries in a blender and I'll gobble them up.
Where are you from?
I don't know, man. It's the texture. I don't like pickles.
That's a good man. Those are bad. We don't like those either here.
I do like apples, though. Apples is like
Yeah,
that
whole bag
texture.
of
Like,
apples.
they're borderline. Apples are borderline for me. You know.
You like cutting the apples? They're a little better that way.
Love
you
it.
gotta bite into it.
You know what I like? I like French toast with butter and peanut butter all over it. Skippy peanut butter.
That sounds
Yeah.
delicious. I was actually just gonna bring peanut butter up because I love peanut butter and apples. Cutting up apples and
that's good.
peanut butter.
That's really good.
Oh, caramel on top of that, you're in the hood.
I like sticking my knife in a fresh open jar of Skippy peanut butter and just.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why
you can't
not?
talk for 3 minutes. You're like,
Why not, dude? Dude, I ate 5 pounds of gummy bears in one night a few days ago. Like,
how'd that feel?
it was like 3.5, really. It was a 5-pound
You
bag.
know what gummy bears are made of? Oh my gosh. Are you a vegetarian?
Well,
Made of boiled down bull bones.
I mean, after like 3 pounds, I know they can only be made with deliciousness.
Yeah. That gelatinous substance that comes from animal bones.
There can't possibly be anything bad about gummy bears if they look that cute and taste that good. It's just a proven scientific fact. It's a law of gummy bears that it's provable, repeatable.
Oh yeah, it's science. Gummy bears.
I think Einstein came up with that one too. The theory of the gummy bear.
Gummy
fruit
bears
mystery.
shot up with little LSD.
That's it.
There you
I've
go.
seen those. Oh,
Yeah,
I drink
man.
a lot of distilled water. I drink a lot of distilled water. And what else do I eat? I just
someone asked
the important thing about eating too is you only eat once every 12 hours. So your body takes 12 hours to digest out what you ate. So if you eat 3 meals a day and you haven't even gotten through the first digestive state of the first meal you ate, and you're already eating a
Oh,
second,
it just sits there and you're beat.
and that's why they have the food pyramid and breakfast, lunch, and dinner and stuff like that. It was all designed like that. One girl's telling me, "Oh, it's not good to eat all day." I'm like, "Well, I'm not hungry. I eat when I'm hungry, and I'm hungry once every 12 hours. I might have a little something here and there within that 12-hour period, though, but I'm not eating out through the course of the day and everything. Sometimes when I get up, I don't eat until like 3, 4 in the afternoon. It's when I finally get hungry and I have something to eat."
Ghana Ball, how do you hate peanut butter? Get the fuck out of here. Are you kidding me with that comment? Are you serious? Who hates peanut butter? That's unbelievable. But yeah, Jenna, I agree with that because I tell people all the time, like, through my whole life, I don't really eat in the morning or really in the early afternoon. I eat pretty much 90% of what I eat is between 7 at night and 3 in the morning. Like I barely eat anything during the day, and then I just eat so much. Like during the day, I keep myself like energized with like protein drinks and like little things, like little healthy things throughout the day. But I don't eat like a full meal at lunch or anything like a lot of these people.
Right.
It makes me super tired if I do that. I can't do any of my work. So I'll just drink like a couple muscle milks or something, you know? And
well, that's a key thing is spreading it out and giving your body a chance to digest and burn it off. You can't digest and burn it off all day long with these three meals a day that people are eating, and then snacking in between. And then, of course, what they're eating is filled with MSG, high fructose corn syrup, which is all excitotoxins for your brain that makes you want more. 2 hours later, you want something else to eat. Now you need something sweet. Now you need something salty. What I just did is I stopped buying all that crap. And because I did put a little weight on back in, like, I don't know, 2014 or 13, and around that time, I kind of put on an extra.
Steve.
What?
Nah, that's when I was getting into the gym. 2014. I was ripped then. I could beat the fuck out of Brock Lesnar then.
What?
That was before I got hurt. Yeah. Now I got like a tendon torn in every single joint on my left arm. It's great stuff. But continue, Jen.
Continue.
So yeah, I just decided I needed to make a few changes in my diet and stuff. And then I was smoking a lot of weed at the time. That was the munchy kind of weed. I mean, I know people are like, oh, doesn't all weed make you munchy? But no, there's some weed that makes you more munchy than the others. And
yeah, that's the indica stuff.
My husband was really into chocolate at night and stuff. You know, when you're a woman, you can't do that. But I was doing it, you know, and it wasn't good. So
all of it does. And honestly, like, I don't really eat healthy, but I do not eat fast food.
No, I never eat fast food. Once in a blue moon,
Smartest
I'll have
thing
a
you can
chicken
do.
sandwich, you know, a chicken biscuit. But, you know, other than that, once in a blue moon, I might have something from Taco Bell, like once in a blue moon. Like if
The bluest of moons, right. I'll have to count on both on like my hand. I haven't been here in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. I think I can go for a Supreme real quick.
And it's not.
Then you feel like shit the next day, and you're like, oh,
right. But dude, like, I haven't eaten in so long that like I don't know, it was like a month and a half ago or something. I got super sick for like 3 or 4 days, man. And this was when COVID was happening. I ate Wendy's for the first time. It was first fast food in a while, and I got just super sick with a stomach thing, and then I couldn't even go back to work because COVID was happening, and I had to do a teledoctor appointment.
Telemedicine.
And he just had to tell me I don't have COVID and I can go back to work. It was ridiculous. So, but yeah, I mean, I think like your body has to become like immune to that kind of shit that's in it. Like, it's addictive, yes, but I mean,
well, you have to detox too. You have to fast every once in a while. Is a good, you know, like maybe once or twice a week fast. Even if you can't do a full 24-hour fast, do a 12-hour fast. People don't. That's like inconceivable to them. The minute their belly growls, I'm hungry, I got to eat right now. No, you don't. You can control your hunger, especially when you detox all that, you know, excitotoxins and stuff out of your system and start drinking distilled water and everything and sweating a lot of that crap out because your body's going to go through. It's just like if you were a smoker for like 20 years and then you stop. Your body's going to detox a lot of that crap out. You're going to be spitting shit out. You're going to get sick. That's your body getting rid of all this stuff. It has to come out. And a lot of that goes with the food. Like I said, I just don't buy the stuff anymore. People are like, oh, I can't lose weight. Well, stop buying the crap. You know, stop, you know, buy different stuff.
That easy, you know?
Not having it, you know?
Let's talk about smoking. This is interesting. So, first of all, I want to start by saying I know smoking is terrible for you. I know that. But what is weird is I've been smoking for 13 years, okay? I don't smoke a lot. I smoke about a half a pack a day. Well, no, like 8, I don't know, like 7 or 8 cigarettes a day. Like not quite a half pack. It lasts me like 3 days a pack, you know? Mm-hmm. So I've never been a super heavy smoker, but I've been smoking for 13 years. You know, that's kind of a long time. So I recently got like a full like examination of just like all my vitals, like all like checked up on everything, you know. And she did my oxygen, and it said 99 when she was doing my oxygen level. So I always ask what every single number means and like is it good and blah blah blah. You know what I mean? So what was weird is I was like, is 99 good? And she was like, well, it's out of 100. And I've been working here a long. She said I've been working here a long time, and I've never seen anyone get 100. 99 is the best you can do. And right then it turned to 100, and I was like, would you believe that I've been smoking cigarettes for 13 years? And she was like, I would not believe that at all. I would call you a liar. And I said, makes sense.
You've also been smoking weed for that amount of time, correct?
No. Way longer than that.
Well, see, there you go. But within that, see, that's what I tell people. They always get on me about. I'm like, I smoke weed. This shit balances all that crap out. You need to understand this. They don't tell you that weed is a Schedule I drug and all this stuff.
Weed's been 24 years, so yeah, factor that into it as well. Exactly. And every single thing else was just perfect across the board. Everything, and like I said, I don't really do anything like healthy. Like I said, I'm known to eat 3 pounds of gummy bears, 4 pounds, maybe, I don't know who's counting, but I don't really go out of my way, but I eat like good meals and shit, you know.
You're aware of what to do with your body.
And I'm active, you know, and I have a positive spirit as well. I think that's a big point.
That's half the battle.
Yeah.
Dude,
if people just cut soda out of their diet, they'll see a huge difference in their energy, in their body weight and stuff. Like, especially people who carry it around their bellies and stuff. I saw a girl that where I pay my rent. I hadn't seen her in like about a year, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, you look great." She's like, "Yeah, I stopped drinking soda." I'm like, "There you go."
Right. Sometimes it'll do little things like that, but so I'll say this, and I'll then I guess we'll let you go eat, Jen.
Thank you.
What time? It's like super late. So you eat late too, isn't it? Like, I forget where you are.
It's 9:46 here.
Oh, see, yeah, I love eating late. I forgot.
Because I'm going to be up till 3 a.m. I don't have a normal sleep.
Yeah, she'll be up to 4 messaging me, and I'll wake up to 9 messages at like 6 a.m. Like, what the hell is
this right
now? So I read this book like quite a few years ago when I was actually still like reading books. I don't really do that anymore. I don't, you know, you can pretty much read a whole book in a YouTube video. I don't have time to read books right now, to be honest with you. So
yeah, you're working on my song.
I am, and many others. Yes, absolutely. Rose's song is sick too. Both of your songs are dope. They're gonna be sick. So I was reading this book on, I believe it was a doctor who wrote the book, and he treated like terminally ill patients, right? So I forget the exact numbers, but he took like 1,000 patients, let's say, and he took like 500 patients that like all had very similar terminally ill diseases, right? So he separated them in half, and in one half, they were extremely negative about the whole experience, and they knew they were gonna die, and they were pissed about it, and they just had a negative attitude towards it, right? Mm-hmm. Then they took the other half of the people that were super positive about it, just like either like super accepting of it and just like loving and cool. And it was so crazy. It was so crazy, guys, because like 90-something% of the negative people died, and like 90% of the other side lived. It was like insane how different it was. It was like, obviously our attitude, our spirit overcomes really illnesses, bro. Like when I get hurt and shit, like I heal super quick because I don't go to the doctors, bro. I break limbs I break shit all the time, bro. All the time. I know I do. Absolutely. And I just heal naturally, man. Like doctors are fucking evil motherfuckers, for real. Whether they know it or not, like, because not every doctor knows.
See, you're eating better too. You're not eating the processed foods and stuff. I noticed,
Right.
like, I used to bruise really easily, and I hit my arm on the doorknob the other day in my bathroom when I turned around, and I rubbed my arm, and I just, just felt better. I never got a bruise or nothing. I used to bruise bad. But it has to do a lot with, what you're taking into your body, how your blood and your tissues react to, bumps and bruises and cuts, even infections and stuff. If you're highly acidic.
Yeah, I've noticed that, especially working in the kitchen. I'll get a nasty burn or an incredible knife cut on my hand, and 2 days later, everyone's like, "Where's your bandage?" I'm like, "Good to go." See, they're just like, "What?" I'm just like, "It was hanging off yesterday, but we're good now." Thank the good Lord, I guess.
Weird, bro. Dude, I broke my leg when I was 12. I didn't even know. It's still broken. It healed broken. My bone sticks out of my leg,
That's
for real.
crazy. That happened to my uncle.
It's my tibia bone. It's the biggest bone in your leg.
Wow.
That's disgusting.
And I had no idea. I thought I just sprained my knee. I wrapped it up. Boom, boom, boom. It healed broken like that, and I have no problems with it, really.
Yeah, you're not from Massachusetts. Wrap it up. Boom, boom, boom. That's everything around here.
Doctor you up enough so you come back knocking on their door.
You got some duct tape?
Yeah.
That's it. That's my grandfather. You got any Gorilla Tape? I'm like, what the hell is that? He's like, duct tape's for bitches. I'm like, okay. So
All right,
thanks, Grandpa.
Duck it.
I'm going to go eat too. That sounds like a good idea. For sure.
All right, guys. Well, it was a great show. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, not bad at all, guys.
Me
Not
too, bro.
bad.
Me too.
Yeah. All day, bro. You're invited back whenever. Yeah, thanks for coming, Jen. Everyone in the chat. I'm not gonna do a song. I don't have anything lined up. I'm just gonna take us out of here. So thanks for coming, guys. God bless. It's been a good show. Like, share, and subscribe. Or don't. It's your choice.